Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to episode 7, if I'm not mistaken, of season 2 of the Northern Winds. Good to have you. Good evening. Good morning for some already, such as myself. It's going to be an interesting session. I hope you guys are prepared. And of course, speaking of being prepared, hopefully my beautiful players are also prepared. How are you guys doing? Good to see you.
Yes, our teeth and ambitions are bad.
Be prepared.
Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, we're prepared. Damn right we are.
We'll be prepared for what?
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Look, my knees are weak. My arms are not heavy.
So we're turning around and just like headed in completely the other direction to like
That's
all
fine.
of the plot, right?
That's fine. That's absolutely okay. You could do that. It's up to you what you want to do. Just know that if you like, the story has it that there is a very insta-gib dragon on the opposing side. Just let you know that does like 100 d10 damage.
Okay.
You should do what I have done, and this is a mild spoiler for Fractured Worlds, but they have that crystal, right? And if they all veer off too far, I just teleport them where I want them to go. I'm like, the crystal makes a noise, ping, and now you are here. It hasn't really happened yet, but it's my absolute last resort for if they're just fucking about forever. I mean, if they fuck about long enough, the world will end, and that'll end the campaign itself. So.
Which also solves the entire issue of them being far away.
Yeah, to a degree. I just, keep.
Yeah.
I have sly things in their inventory,
Just waiting.
which put them back on track if they veer off too much.
Well, as it is with any campaign, if you wait long enough, shit's going to go to hell very slowly. So.
Or really fast, depending on if you have Brad in your campaign.
This is true.
But
This is true.
the only sly things I have in my inventory are arrows.
I have like lots of rope. So
Yeah, you have way too much rope in your inventory. Like,
just lots of rope.
like there's like an excessive amount of rope there. Like,
I have 4 pieces of rope, which all tied together make 210 feet.
You have a brightstone.
and is that with or without the special rope?
No, that's with the special
Okay.
rope.
You have a brightstone in there too that we rescued from the bowels of a fucking water.
I have a magical fragment, which is basically a nightlight. Yeah,
It's an excessive nightlight. For now.
it's like a shitty drift globe.
Velian Bondage King.
In all fairness, that's kind of what it comes down to. But yeah, like there's a lot. You guys have like a lot of magic items, but nobody knows identify, and nobody really knew the items because you all failed your Arcana check. Because the only real man who knows wizardry and magical items has no intellect. Didn't used to have intellect.
Yeah,
So
I might take another swing at it at some point. We have
Yeah.
more pressing matters to
well,
deal
if
with.
there's new items on the horizon, perhaps you could. But you know how it depends on the varying degree of item. Because even if you roll natural 20, perhaps there might be secrets that lure within that require additional inspection. But all in due time. Let's survive first, because dead people don't have use for magical items. Speaking of having no use for magical items,
Dead pills don't say no.
Dead fish don't float.
That's bad.
I feel like they do.
I
Really
think
good.
dead fish should float. I don't think they couldn't float.
Dead fish don't float was the name of one of my group's guilds that they came up with.
I was hoping for like horrible
Punk band.
garage band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what they were. To be honest, they were a shit adventuring party.
One of my horrible garage bands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, you guys don't even have a group name yet.
What do you mean we don't have a group name? The group name is Natea and the Annoying People.
The group name is Mom Spaghetti, and it has been so for.
Yeah, Mom's.
Yeah. Why do you think I said that? Was it completely random? I mean, come on.
Everyone knows that.
Mom Spaghetti is the answer.
Yeah.
Oh
name
god,
is the
my
Jimi
knees
Hendrix
are weak
experience.
and my arms are
Jimi
heavy.
Hendrix experience.
Like that's your battle cry. Arms are weak.
There's vomit on my sweater already.
On my chainmail.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's do some quick, concise introductions of who you play here on the Northern Winds, and then without further fellow spaghetti interruptions, we will dive into the world of
You really overestimate us.
I always do. I always do. Velian.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Brad Wota. I'm playing the Goliath Sorcerer Velian, and I put 2 points into Int when we leveled up, instead of anything else that needs it a little bit more like combat-based, because I'm sick of doing Int checks and failing them. This group is excellent at combat, especially compared to our last group on the Northern Winds, but we suck at investigating shit. And it was upsetting me, so I put points into Intelligence, so I've become a slightly more well-rounded Goliath Sorcerer, who has put more effort into understanding his arcane roots recently than making himself a better fighter. Though he is very survivable, since my highest stat is a con, I think. Oh, con and charisma are the same. Yeah, it's all good. My stats are great. It's fine. I ain't worried.
Yeah, you guys will be able to see the madness that is Valiant's stats. And it's not even a problem that he rolled well. It's that he rolled well again. That is like grinding the gears of those that are alive. Oh,
It's
you
just
and
constant.
stat rolls, man. You and stat rolls. It's insane.
I rolled stats the other day for a one-shot thing where I was just playing. I literally just played a cheap value version of Solid Snake, and I think I sent them to you, didn't I, Wolf?
Oh yeah, on the encounter roleplay 24-hour thing.
I was on there 24 hour, and I knew it would annoy him, but I rolled a 15, 13, 16, 11, 17, and 16. Just flat.
Yeah, like that's disgusting. You know what
As
the
soon
worst
as
part
I
about
did it,
it?
I was like, I'm gonna send it. I am two stat rolls, the Whack Steven to crits and the Peachy to crit fails, I think. I think mine is
Yeah.
like the initial stat rolls. Like I don't think I've ever rolled badly. I'm at the point where I can openly say that. You know, when you're scared to like jinx it when you say stuff like that? I'm not at this point.
It doesn't even matter. You should make that a trade, like a business of sorts, right? Because you also, in your one shot, you rolled for Elf, didn't you?
Yeah, Elf
Also
had great
insane
stats as
stats.
well because I rolled Elf stats. That is just my skill. So yeah, if you ever need good stats rolls, just come to me. I charge $5 per stat, and I'll roll them stats up.
Now you heard it. Anyhow, let's move on to Natea.
Hi, I'm Distracted Elf. I play Natea. She's a level 4 rogue. She shoots things with a longbow and is more talky with arrows than with birds. I haven't felt very good today, so if I disappear suddenly, that's why.
We'll just
You
assume
gotta
you have
poop.
made a successful stealth check. And
More
you're-
like I have to vomit somewhere that isn't
Yeah,
my
vomit out your butt.
Okay.
Poop vomit.
Poop
Thank
vomit, more like.
Thank you, everyone, for being mature.
Let's all
This-
kick Elf while she's done.
I haven't actually said anything about it.
I know, Whack, but I can
Well, you
see
know,
it
like,
in your eyes.
we're really
Whack
gonna
doesn't
drive
know.
home. There's
No,
already vomit on her
disgusting.
sweater already.
Oh, there's vomit on her sweater already.
It's just not mom's spaghetti.
It
Anyway,
might be.
have you eaten spaghetti?
No.
Like, what is wrong with Eminem's mum's cooking that it's like
It's-
that bad?
Look, she had a class once and it just went wrong. And it's fine.
These are
Um,
the questions I ask myself daily.
like, yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah, all right. Wax Steven, Kurata.
Hey, what's up? I'm Korgeth, Demon Lord of the Devouring Worm. No, I'm just kidding. I just got the new Tome of Beasts and I've got it loaded up.
God, it looks so good.
This worm that's just dicks and faces and stuff.
I'm also in there. If you need another selling point, there is a creature that Kobold Press based entirely on me.
Yeah.
Page 48.
Page 48. They
They
use my mic.
probably saw your cross-dressing video. Well, one of the cross-dressing.
Yeah. My many.
What's up? I'm White Steven. I play Karata, the half-orc fighter battle master that yells a lot, kills things real good, and tries to crit really hard, and usually succeeds.
Correct. 10 out of 10.
There you go.
You did it.
And last and least, Janathest.
Wow. Ouch.
Well, dead on though.
I'm Pixelate. I play Janathan.
JJ.
JJ from the block. And the only important stat you need to know about Janathest is that his push drag lift limit is 420.
Lift it.
I think he puts on his sunglasses.
Oh, McLaren.
Oh boy.
Oh, like, also, he's also a cleric. But you can't tell. Alright. Alright, shenanigans aside, are you guys ready to get serious?
Shenanigans aside, that sounds like a good band name.
Definitely a punk band for sure.
Yeah.
That's my,
Punk bands are mostly about the shenanigans.
Ace is like, what? Ace is like got that look on his face. It's like it's gonna be one of those days.
It's like, look, I'm also on like the sick end of the spectrum, so I'm like very desperately trying to cling on to all the knowledge I have to cling on to as a DM, and it's totally
All the
going to be
knowledge.
fine. All the knowledge.
Klingons aren't in D&D.
Klingons are
Shit! Everything I knew ruined.
Yeah.
You know, and
that
here you say,
Klingon encounter, just change them to kobolds. It'll work.
yeah, just large kobolds with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It's
feel like
gonna get-
Klingons are better than kobolds, aren't they? I don't know much about Star Wars.
Would hope so.
Yeah, a little better than Kobold.
Do you speak Klingon? No, you don't understand the word. Like Draconic now is Klingon in my world. Oh my god.
I am so down with that.
I really am not. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. In which case, I will switch the tavern music to a more fitting, lovely mountain pass sound. As we will move ourselves to the world of Ardone, we find ourselves on the northern continent, also known as Revor. Our travelers, a group of outcasts that have been traveling together for a while, recently saving a city of some troubles, and have been on the road for about 2 weeks, almost a full 2 weeks. You guys have been traveling now in search for a large city, a capital of sorts. Having some near-death experiences of strange, large tentacle creatures. You guys were able to make it through or towards a abandoned village, a small village near some lumber camps. You guys were ambushed and presumably mistaken for raiders, something you guys are not. Though you guys were able to make quick work of both the leader of this ambush as well as the right-hand man. You were able to take one prisoner who then was kindly ended, but kept alive, if I'm not mistaken, by our beloved cleric.
I believe so. Kind of ruins the drama of me stabbing him when you stay the dying on him.
Such is the way of the cleric.
Resurrection is kind of bullshit, isn't it? In any way.
No. But you guys were able to take a long rest, you guys were able to find a defensible position that you guys were comfortable with, and the night was rather uneventful. It is morning now, it's about, let's say, 7 a.m. It is cold, snow is slowly drifting down into this forest. You guys wake, still kind of dark, and you also now have still a somewhat passed out, sleeping, sorry-looking prisoner bound to a tree.
I am far away from the prisoner, camping in my tent.
You say we've waited for him to finish talking?
Sorry?
We were waiting for Peachy to interrogate. Kindly.
You were waiting for me to get the spell so you guys could interrogate.
Yeah, like you guys were, after Natea's
I thought you said give me 8 hours with him last week.
That's what you did say, yeah.
So I thought you had.
I think I should give me 8 hours. And
I interpreted as I needed 8 hours of sleep to be able to change my spell, so I could get something.
I just want to cast a spell on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm assuming you guys are all coming out of your long rest. Everybody's full health. You have all your stuff back, half your hit die. You get back as well, and if you want to change any spells, if you are a spellcaster and have the ability to do so, you now are capable of doing so.
I would have gotten up a bit early to go hunting or scavenging.
All right, just for some breakfast.
Yeah, basically. Sort of trying to take my mind off of things.
This is true. You know what is on the horizon waiting for you, to some extent. So, I want you to make a survival check as you scavenge the surrounding area. Shouldn't be too difficult. And oh my god, the first crit! Yeah.
I'm feeling it today, guys.
Yeah, you know what's happening. You're amped up. All right, you are able to get about. Oh wow. Yeah, you are able to catch some big game. So you are able to bring back like a large deer of food, which, if prepared right, could end up getting you some solid rations. Maybe, let's say 12 rations or so.
Okay, yeah, I clean it, you know, sort of like take out the unusable parts and stuff and sort of, you know, pack some snow on it and just kind of start hauling it back to the group.
Yeah, you're hauling back, making sure to leave no blood behind either so you can't get traced down. As at the camp, you guys have also been awoken. What is it that you guys do?
I'm hanging out with Natea because Janathest and Karata are no fun at the moment. Neither is Natea, she's never fun.
Aww!
Oh,
Natea's fun.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt today.
yeah, she's the best hide and seek person you've ever met.
Yeah.
I'm cautious and nervous,
Yeah, she
but mostly just kind of not doing a lot, I think.
she sort of crawled her way out of her tent and sat in front of it, you know, waiting for whoever to deal with this prisoner, because last time I dealt with it, you reprimanded all of the things I did, so it's not my job to talk about it. Also, I've recovered HP. Back to my sullen, quiet self, and I'm quietly playing rock paper scissors with Rebellion. Pass the time.
Damn it! I mean, damn it! And then I flick over a gold piece. It's just gold pieces flicking back and forth between.
Yeah. Just like the stupidest gambling ever.
Double or nothing. Anyway,
Yeah.
Janathest.
I'm just praying at the moment while they're doing that.
Alright, you're trying to change your spells? Let's assume...
I'm asking Scotty for guidance and some new spells, yes. Mechanically new spells.
Yeah, like... Goes without a hitch. Doesn't take too long. A couple of minutes of prayer. And you're able to adjust your arsenal.
Okay,
yeah.
so I'll get up, I'll put my gear back on, and I walk past these two. Like, Velian constantly losing.
Mm-hmm.
Taya just waits till he picks and then picks later because she's that fast.
just slightly later.
And as I walk past them, it is done. Come with me.
I stand up and I follow Janathist.
Yep, slowly do the same.
Yeah, it's that morning speed of like, okay.
So I get them to stand next to... Did we get this guy's name?
Nope.
I'm going to call him Toby.
Toby it is.
Depending on what you just picked, we can find out just immediately.
Depending on what he has, like, because I am... Yeah, okay. Yeah, you approach, and he's still bound to the same tree. Like a barely healed wound in his throat from a previously placed knife. Looks pale, barely breathing, but he's hanging in there.
So I like crouch down in front of him. I offer him some food.
He's still passed out.
Oh, okay. I'll just slap him awake.
What?
I just like offer him a water skin. He's probably thirsty after dying.
He just averts his head.
Okay. I beckon the other two over. Are you guys coming?
I take the water skin and drink it a little bit, and then offer it back to him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm standing nearby enough to watch and listen. But last time I was near this guy, I stabbed him through the throat and kicked him in the face. So probably best if I don't.
You do receive like some like mean looks, but you know, he's tired.
Yeah, if he mean looks me, I give him the sassiest, like, I fucked you up, don't even try, you motherfucker, look back.
And he responds in kind with just that one look. Anyway, Janathest.
It's not a DC 0 strength save.
I would assume, what is your DC?
My DC is 14, I believe. Let me double check. Oh no, it's 15.
And it's a charisma saving throw. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell area for the first time on a turn or starts a turn must... This creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. Okay. That's a very important thing to know. Alright, so everybody is within the circle.
Shit.
So everybody, besides Kurata, make a...
I'm not in this circle. I said I was nearby enough to listen, and...
It's a 15-foot radius, which is
Whispering,
quite
so
large.
you're gonna have to be 15.
It's
I'm
quite a large
stood right
thing.
next to Janathest when this goes off.
Like, what is your DC?
15.
15.
Fine.
Alright.
I will also make a saving throw.
Ooh, I rolled a 2. Yeah, you know he is under the effect of your spell. As is Natea. You gotta look at the side. You notice that Natea also is under the effect of your spell, but you do know that Velian is able to resist the effects quite easily, in fact.
Natea just starts babbling out the truth of all the darkest
No,
secrets.
Stood on the kitten's tail.
she only has to speak truth. She doesn't have to speak.
I don't know, you fell pretty hard.
You
Doesn't
could always
she-
just take.
That
you could always
doesn't
just take a
change
step
the
back.
effect of the spell, yeah.
If you leave the spell.
Like, the thing is, like, if you are under the effect of the spell, you are also aware of the spell.
Yeah,
So that's the... Like, so you know what's happening, Natea. So...
that's okay. They're gonna be interrogating the dude, not me,
Right.
so it doesn't matter.
I have no idea what he's doing.
What is it
I know
you
you-
want, cleric?
Well,
Why did you attack us?
You should just look. Or do you think?
From what I can tell, you thought we were an orc raiding party. Do we look like an orc raiding party?
Aren't you with the Storm Screamer?
Answer my question. Do we look like an orc raiding party?
Yes. Aren't you with that Storm Screamer? Where is that bitch?
So I look back at utterly confused to Velian and Natea. We don't look like orcs, right?
I immediately replied no, and then ask the man, "Are you under enchantment?"
I suppose I am now.
Before this,
No.
wave my hand back to Janathus. This isn't my interrogation.
Confused because we're definitely not orcs.
Make a history check for me.
What if I remember when I? Oh yeah, I was born an orc.
Make a history check for me. You haven't come across orc or orc tribes. Your expert on that matter is currently not present. But you do know that orcs are not necessarily they don't necessarily object against working together with other species as long as they're capable and have proven worthy or strong or useful. Especially they're primarily they work together with like giants, bugbears, and ogres, and all kinds of like larger creatures that are known for their strength.
Okay. I look back. Do you know what this spell does?
Yeah.
So when I tell you that we are not an orc raiding party, you can assume that to be the truth.
Can I? You're the one who casted it. I do not know who's under the effect or who isn't.
This is the same line of questioning I had with him last night. He's
If I
equally
wasn't a cleric, I would just get in here to kill him again. But I am. I can't. The people who ran away, where did they go and what will they be doing?
Well, we did yell out for reinforcements. What do you think?
This guy's really testing my patience.
No, really.
I'm gonna step forward and say, how long have the orcs been raiding your village?
They haven't been raiding the city. But the villages around us. Probably for years now. But you would know that, wouldn't you?
What is the name of your village?
I'm from Oderheim. I'm from the city.
Where can we find the city?
At this point, he gives you kind of this look, as if you're not making a lot of sense. You don't know of Oderheim.
Did he just resist the spell's effects? Did it just run out? No, I do not. I would like to know where it is.
Oh, by all means. Follow the path. I insist.
How would I gain access to the city without using the path?
You remain silent.
I'm bored.
Is there a way to
That's frustrating.
convince? Is there a way to convince your people that we are not part of the orc raiding party and assist you?
Make a persuasion check.
All day long, you'll get persuasion checks. I'm not even proficient.
Jesus fuck.
Wow.
Alright, double crit.
He is now your best friend.
He gives you this look as if he's like there's this doubt creeping into his mind. Well, if you wish to prove not to be part of the Storm Screamers, kill that friend of yours.
I feel like this would be a good time for me to sort of show up and just like I just sort of take the like heavy deer like off of my shoulders and just like toss it on the ground.
I turn around, witness this, and then turn back to the dude and say, I can't. Probably.
I correct him as he says that, and I just say, we won't.
But I will add that The person we are traveling with may have had previous ties to this tribe, but no longer. We are all individuals, lone wolves.
May that as it be. The very sight of you makes people think different.
It would not be the first time that I was judged by my appearance.
People are idiots.
And I sort of like trudge over and I say,
I have quite a lot of breakfast for us.
I'd like to go over to the deer, like just hop up and start like with one of my daggers, just start like skinning off like some of it and cutting off a nice piece, and like I just go about like campfire work while the rest of this goes on, like immediately. As soon
You're
as
making breakfast?
Yeah, basically.
so I sort of approach like the I assume, what does it look like? What does your zone of truth look like?
Does it actually look like something?
You can do
I-
it like,
I would
for all I
say-
know, it looks like an alchemist circle on the ground. Like, you can
I would
make
say
whatever you want
it
to be.
looks like a snow globe.
Yeah.
It's like snowing in there, but it's probably not snowing
I'm
around.
just sort of like staring at this like weird thing, like, because I don't think I've ever seen this before, and I take out like my glaive and I just.
What is this?
It is perfectly safe, Karata. Come in.
I do not know. It feels odd.
It's not
Why
odd,
is it
it's
snowing
divine.
only here?
Well, it's snowing everywhere, right? Like, it's snowing everywhere. It's just, the snow here is, like, extremely
You
localized.
can actually see the shape of the snowflakes. They're like this
The
big.
snow inside this is fake. It's like
Yeah.
fake snow
Yeah,
globe.
like a snow globe.
Yeah, so I say,
This is peculiar. What is going on here?
It is a spell.
Obviously, but what is it?
It's a spell where anyone inside must speak the truth.
Ah, then I have nothing to fear.
and I just walk into it.
You're gonna feel you're safe automatically?
Oh yeah.
Alright, yeah, then you must speak truth. Alright.
I'm going to instruct Toby
I mean, to be fair, you can be obtuse and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, you can evade, you can just keep your mouth shut and it's fine.
Yeah, this spell didn't work as well as I hoped.
It says so, you could it literally tells you how to counter it if you are under the effect of it in the same spell, so...
Yeah, but it didn't give me any warning that the GM may be a dick.
No, but Ace did at the beginning of this season. Ace always says. Ace always sets those ground rules at the beginning. He's like, motherfuckers, you all gonna die.
I set high expectations, and then I just make it a very difficult road.
Ace's face during that was just like so wounded.
They're wounding. They're devastating. Yeah, that was my like real world vicious mockery.
That's, well,
That was
you know.
that was some Kite and Veil level vicious mockery there.
Yep.
I'm
I
going
wanna
to... Oh,
go on. Okay, no, you can do it because I mean I was still questioning him on that same question because he didn't really answer it.
Okay, yeah, go on.
I want to reiterate it. Like I want to say to the guy, without killing our friend here, how would we go about gaining access and trust of your people?
Well, if it is true what you say, you kind of like eyes Kurata for an extended time. Even though I find it hard to believe, you may want to keep her hidden. Thing is, Storm Screamers have been have been more active as of late. They're getting more aggressive. Something has spooked them. They've been raiding our smaller villages that provide supplies. We were expecting an attack somewhere during the night in this village that you took me from. Hence the ambush. And when we
You
saw...
mean where we defended ourselves? And said repeatedly that we only wish to trade with you. Yet you continue to fire arrows.
I do not listen to you, I
your
listen to my
swords.
command.
Then your commander is a fool!
Oh, he's
Or
dead
should I
now.
say, and I get in real close.
Was a fool.
That he was. And like, as you get closer, he doesn't flinch.
Can I like rest a hand on Kurata's shoulder, and I'll just do like a. He barely believes us as it is.
In any of the pauses or gaps in this conversation where there are sort of considerations, you could just hear like from over near where I'm just peeling the pelt off this deer.
Really honest peeling.
Well, I'm not in the zone anymore.
This is true. This dishonest feeling.
Yeah. Way back to dishonest peeling. I will like lean into the dude again and say, do they usually attack in raiding parties of 4?
Varying sizes. Varying groups. Varying heights.
Well,
Sometimes they bring Goliaths. Such as yourself.
the thing
And
is,
I sort of like. Looks like I've tasted something bad. Like I'm.
it's the truth. I just realized. I'm just looking. I mean, I barely understand what's going on. I don't really know what the spell is, and it didn't affect me. So I'm just like confused a little bit. And I'll say more to Janathest and Kurata than the dude. Like, I'll say, the thing is, whether we go to this city or not, they could be around. And we may face them one way or the other, so we should take as much information from this man as we can. Sizes of parties, who or what is in the party.
Look, if you want to get entrance to the city, it might be wise not to end me again.
That's how she shows affection.
And I just sort of point my thumb over to Natea and I say,
Then it is best not to piss her off again.
Well, it would be easy to stab somebody in the throat if they're tied up.
Or it might be easy to kill 4 people unsuspecting as they walk to trade to your city, as you ambush them with 10. No, wait, was it 11? Maybe 12 people.
Well, it
In the
wasn't
night.
actually. It wasn't that easy. We won. A big wide grin on my face.
He kind of looks away.
Valiant destroyer of points.
He's a weird big comedian. He's got all these charisma points. I don't know how else to do it other than that he sometimes says these weird jokey out of character things, really. I don't know why Goliath would be so charismatic otherwise.
So what will it be?
I'm going to turn to him again and say, okay, without killing our friend here, how can we prove to you that we are at best your ally, at worst not your enemy here? We have no real quarrel with you or your people. I would rather kill an orc than a civilized human.
Well, let's start with getting rid of these ties. As a sign of good faith.
We'll look at Janathest, because this is Janathest's prisoner.
I mean, Genesis has been considering. I have been considering that this is Natea's prisoner, plaything that she can kill over and over again.
Well, it
I'm
was
just
originally my prisoner that
Look, mind you guys are not allowed to be evil, right? Because I will veto your character.
Well, Natea killed him, and you brought him back, and that in my head means it's yours now.
Yeah, I've washed my hands of responsibility with this guy.
Okay, I'll look back to Karata. Karata, do you have any questions for Toby here?
I do not have any questions. He has already made up his mind about us. My opinion is we should find a scouting party for the Storm Screamers. Take their heads, put them in my net, drag them to the city, and present them as a good gesture of faith.
I look immediately at Toby and just kind of do a Natea. Well,
Well, their heads as a gift certainly wouldn't hurt your chances.
what rope did I tie him up with?
Just a normal rope, no?
I'm assuming just a
normal
normal rope.
Just curious as to whether it was the magical one. I don't expect it to be the lasso of truth, but just in case. I'm gonna untie him then. Literally at that, I'm gonna untie him, and as I'm untying him, I'll say, "Then perhaps you can help us take some orc heads, and if you try any funny business, you are quite outnumbered." And then tie the rope up. I'm even gonna give him back his weapon.
I'm gonna grab him if he tries to move.
I'm full on readying a firebolt type.
Yeah, like he sees that you guys are not fucking around. He's not stupid. He was previously just following command, but he's not stupid.
I'm down with having an NPC guard on our side to kill some orcs, so I give him his weapons back. I think it was a bow and a short sword or something, and I took them with me, so...
Yeah. He's a basic ranger. So he puts his bow over his shoulder, puts his short sword to his side.
I cast Cure Wounds at a level 1 spell on him.
Give me a heal.
You did.
Ah, nice. That's 11?
I'm
Not
just going to
bad.
go and sit with Natea and start cooking the food since I'm Mr. Chef.
You know, like the wound on his neck.
Yeah,
Close somewhat properly.
there's like really nicely pieced out sections of meat, you know, that work really well for you.
I pull out my cooking utensils, put all my shit down, my axe and my staff and stuff, and I just put my back to the dude. I'm down with just cooking him up a bit of breakfast, and then, well, cooking everyone breakfast. And then I'll offer him some unless he runs off or tries to kill us.
Yeah, he definitely is like on high alert, but he's making sure not to have any weapons drawn or anything. But he's definitely like severely skeptical of the entire situation, because this is a 180 of what he initially assumed.
I will drop Zone of Truth at this point.
Alright, Zone of Truth kind of fades. The snow on this very located situation place just kind of fades. As you guys eat breakfast.
Indeed.
Does he also eat with us?
If you offer him food.
Yeah, I think we would.
Right.
I would like to generally question him of like the size of. Do you say Oderheim?
Yeah, Oderheim.
Like the size of the city.
If you want to ask him questions, ask him questions.
Yeah, I mean, while we're eating food, I'll ask him how many people are in Oderheim.
Well, I haven't really counted them by hand, but big numbers have been thrown around. 30, 40,000.
Is it walled?
Oh, it's walled.
How many? Because I come from a fucking mountain tribe, and I almost definitely do not come from a walled city. How many of these walled cities are there? Because I know as Brad of Amarok, and now this one.
Mm-hmm.
How many will I have seen in Asvelian, if any?
Asvelian, this
Because
is
I don't actually know where I've come from on the map, kind of thing.
like the closest thing that you would have experienced in your own tribe were like makeshift barricades and just very natural defenses. This is
Because I
probably,
presume I would have seen a couple of smaller villages like the one we just came from.
yeah, and they would have like makeshift barricades, just wooden walls, but nothing compared to an actual walled city.
So this would be the first time.
This would be the first time for Velian that he would actually see a properly walled city. And you get the impression that it's not just a walled city either.
It seems strange that you would be so nervous for travelers and the such for such a large city. It seems strange that you cannot defend it with so many people.
Or we can defend the city just fine. Every single time the Screamers attack, they run away with their tails between their legs.
Every time this person talks, you can see Natea is just getting more and more annoyed. Like, everything he says is some bullshit, and like, she's just sick of it. You can see it on her face.
I expect him to either run away, betray us, or die at some point, so I'm trying to get as much information out of him while we're safe as we can.
Makes sense.
On the city. Because presumably this is the city we were headed for, and where we were last night was a village that wasn't Oderheim.
No, that was a small, like, just a small village that you can find outside of cities that, you know, gather supplies and trade them off in the city.
How far and what direction is the city from where we are now?
It's built in the mountain. Or against it.
In which
Like-
direction?
As I said, follow the path.
If the city has so many villages around it that must trade,
It does.
how then surely you must attack your own villagers every night.
What are you getting at?
The wild and unprovoked attack last night.
Well, it's
What
not
if we
like we
were-
see a lot of half-giants working together with half-orcs that aren't storm screamers. And in my defense, ex-storm screamer. You can't really
You have-
smell that.
You have exclusively only humans in your city and villages? With those numbers?
It's a human capital.
Not a single elf?
Well, we got some elves. But they tend to be more at ease with funny trees next to them.
No Goliaths? No.
I casually gesture the skinning knife, you know, with a little flick in his direction, just so he can see a glint off the point of it, and then go back to what I was doing.
See?
Natea's so gonna murder this guy real soon.
Now, we have the occasional Goliath, but we know them.
I'm just like, so... I'm slightly concerned that, you know, this is an evil city. Like, we assume that it's a good place and that everything he's saying is the truth. But if we get there and the orcs, they're gone, they're not there, they didn't exist in the first place in terms of they were never here, even though we know they exist as a group. That's my fear. So I'm just trying to work out.
You can make an insight check if you want.
It's not that I don't believe what he's saying, really.
You say you don't really believe what he's saying, but you believe what he's saying?
Well, no, what he's saying could be true. It's just a human capital and stuff like that. But they're just these people randomly attacked us. No matter how many times we shouted that we were there to trade and stuff. I get that they were confused a little bit, especially since we had a half orc and things. I just in character, there's a small part of Velian's mind that's thinking, you know, maybe they are the half orcs, or they're not. They're not them, but they are like that kind. They're more like bandits, and there is no city. I don't know, something along those lines.
Only one way to find out. Ask Adam more question or visit the city, right?
Most of my thoughts are that he's generally telling the truth, and everything was confusing. I mean, I have no other questions really for him.
I'm having doubts about going to this city.
Well, first of all, before we go to the city, we need to find some orcs.
I have met an orc. I also have doubts about going there.
Well, if we want access to this city, we need to bring an offering of orc heads and return this person to them safely. And in order to do that, we need to find the orcs to kill.
That will not be much of a problem.
You know where they are?
I know how they think. There will be many scouting parties. You will see many different kinds of orcs and Goliaths.
So I'll look back to the dude one last time and say, well then, if you help us hunt a couple of orcs, we'll help you get back to your city. And from there, we'll see how it goes. Does that sound fair to you, new friend?
Make a persuasion check.
While you're trying to persuade him, Natea is muttering something. I'm muttering something under my breath, sort of angrily. That's like, I don't see why we have to prove ourselves when they're the ones who made the mistake. Fucking idiot, bastards. Like, think they're.
I'm slightly distracted by Natea at this while I'm finishing my sentence.
Think they're so smart. Think they're so brave. We'll see how brave he is when I stick my knife through his eyeball.
I'm going to assume that the
like
persuasion
chuckling.
check is with disadvantage at this point. He just kind of looks at you, well, though I do not object against getting a little... against getting a few orc heads. I think it would be wise to visit the city first. We send out for reinforcements.
But if we visit your city, there is a huge chance that they will attack us in greater numbers as they did last night.
Not if I'm here.
I'm afraid I cannot in good faith trust that you won't simply turn on us. I would rather have the assurance of the orc heads.
Well, I would rather make my way to the city then.
By yourself?
I'm a big boy. And it's light out.
Let's see how far you can run before you die.
I just shake my head at Natea. I'm like, let him go. We don't need him.
I'm not going to argue with that.
The road further up ahead is well traveled.
Okay. Good luck. I hope you make it back to Oderheim safely. We will find our own way.
I just, as he starts to walk away, I start to sort of look. I'm looking down like at the food and whatnot, and I sort of yell over my shoulder.
Remember, there are others inside of the Storm Screamers. Slaves. People held hostage, captive, families. Forced to do things that you cannot imagine. Perhaps If someone offers you trade, you take a minute to think before you act.
He doesn't say anything. He just kind of keeps moving forward, following the
doesn't-
path.
He doesn't
that
know how to think. He just follows orders of people who don't know how to think. It's a chain of idiocy, down and down the line.
I turn back and I'm just like, if he makes it back and he tells his people, perhaps he will explain to them that our 4 descriptions at least don't seem to be part of the...
And the other 5 that slunk away into the night before, you think they haven't already told someone?
Does it matter at this point?
No, I just think
He doesn't want us to...
having to prove that we're not hostile when we weren't hostile is pointless and stupid.
Well, we can let him deliver that message.
What do you suggest then, Natea?
I suggest we skip this place and we move on. We have no need to go to the city. So what, they have walls, so what, they have people. They are our enemies now, as are these orcs. This is not a safe area to be in. We should range further south and see what we can find.
I agree with Natea. We do not need to go to the city. But you say these orcs take slaves, prisoners?
You can probably hear my teeth grinding. I say, I just look at you directly in the eye with my hardest of stares, Janathest, and I say,
Yes.
So I stand up, pick up my shield. The orc camp it is.
I am happy to find and free some slaves. If we find another Kurata, we're going to have a small warband to range around and strike back at these orcs with.
If we find another Karata, I hope she's on our side.
and I slap Janathest on the back and I say,
That is the first time I have laughed in days. Thank you.
I will look to Kurata and say, if you are okay with this plan, then I suggest that you and Natea track some orcs.
Yes.
I start to just like nod my head.
Yes. Let us free some slaves.
I don't look wholly on board with this plan, but I pull my dagger out of the meat that I've been carving and sort of wipe it off quickly, put it back in its place on my belt, and stand up like I'm gonna go. So.
Yeah, I pick up all my things and I'll attach my great axe to my thing on my back that I have, pick up my staff, and then look at everyone and say, a scouting party of Kuratas. This should be interesting.
They're going to be loud.
Hood up.
I actually say,
I have been thinking, if we decide to do this, it may be better for me to disguise myself. They will know my face. This could antagonize them further.
Do we have literally any way to disguise you, though? Does it anyone? Yeah?
I have various items that may help.
Don't tell me you've got a disguise kit. What the fuck? Why the fuck do you have a What is this?
it's just mechanically, it's part of the background.
Yeah, I still don't understand. That's how you got out.
I look at Karata, just trying to imagine a way that Karata could not look like a very scary orc.
Kurata's clothing is just basically the armor, right? You don't have a lot on. Is that what you said?
It's furs and chainmail and like leather pants and stuff. If you just like, my journal entry should be visible. You can actually see a picture of me.
Then I'll take off the robe that I'm wearing and offer that to you as well, because I have a robe, which will go a long way towards disguising your enormous She-Hulk body. Yeah. So I'll offer you that, and then look down at this disguised kit, just bemused, like real life.
Alright. So as I understand it, you guys get ready. You guys have had breakfast. Write down a total of like 6 remaining rations.
Okay.
Let's say 7 remaining rations.
Each or me?
Yeah, just you. It's like the leftover, or depending on how you want to divide them. Natea was the one cooking them and preparing them and such.
Okay, so I'll give Natea, 3 of them.
All right. There's now like there lies like almost a bear deer skeleton. You guys now seek to find an orc scouting party of sorts. Kurata, you do know kind of where the main camp is, but that's far deeper into the continent itself. So that is not going to be an easy thing to do. It's gonna be more than just 2 weeks traveling from this point forward. You have specifically been traveling away from that place with good reason.
Right. I'm specifically trying to give advice to Natea on like the way that the scouting parties work and stuff. Like how they usually set up their camps and like how they usually travel and when they usually travel and stuff like that.
While you're doing your disguise, I'm sort of just standing nearby listening to you go like, and they do this and that and the other thing, and I'm just nodding, taking in the information.
And you guys exchange notes.
In typical Natea fashion.
And
Yeah,
with
I'm like taking like the cream or whatever and just like modding on, like putting it on my face, sort of giving myself like more of like a tanned sort of like leathery kind of complexion.
I'm just looking on, confused and horrified.
We're about to see an albino orc, an albino half orc.
Tan. like,
Let's see how well it goes. Make a general D20 with proficiency. I'm not sure what disguising yourself would be.
I think it's charisma, but
It's charisma,
I
but
feel like
doesn't
it's
the disguise
deception.
kit give you advantage?
I suppose it would be deception, wouldn't it? Let's do
It's
make a
charisma.
deception roll. Yeah. If you're not proficiency, you can add your proficiency to it.
okay. So I'm just gonna hit the button and we can add proficiency.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah, like you start caking on your disguise kit. Like you have an entertainer's background, so you are used to just really making things look bigger than they are.
I look like a clown. Like I just start putting like clown face paint on.
Yeah, really getting to a point where you start looking like an albino half orc.
As soon as I see how badly it's going, I literally like as you're like got a glob of whatever it is and you're like smearing it on, I literally reach over, slap your hand and like take it from you and start doing it myself. And, like make sure that you look like a different person and not just Karada with like globs of shit on your face.
Yeah, like it. You can definitely still recognize Kurata, but from a distance, yeah, it might pass for a non-half orc. Which might work just well enough.
Deception roll.
Right?
I don't know how to lie.
Like the way Kurata, I imagine, like you're just
louder.
Are you trying to put it on in the zone of truth? I can't do this. This is wrong.
Anyway, with Kurata having done her makeup, we will be back after our first break of the evening. don't go anywhere. We'll see how this this ends. I have no clue. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Stick around. Alright, we have somewhat returned to continue where we left off. Before the break, we had some interesting make-up decisions being made. And that's where we will continue right now. You guys are about to venture forth to find perhaps tracks of an orc raiding party, correct?
Yes.
I believe that is the idea.
I think
Right.
me and Janathus are wandering around in the back.
You guys, like, how do you guys want to do this? You guys can just go and take a random direction and just kind of hope for the best? Or do you guys want to go to the village that was
I assume
previously
we're
abandoned?
waiting for Natea to, after Karata told her the
Yeah.
artist like.
I mean, there are orc raiding parties here. We know that.
Yeah. I
Where's
mean,
that?
So they have to be somewhere.
I assume the information given to me by Karada is enough to find a trace of a raiding party.
I mean, I guess what we would be doing would be something along the lines of like checking for other nearby villages, like the ones that they were talking of.
Intelligent wandering.
Well, the only two places you guys
exactly.
know of right now would be indeed the abandoned village, where they were expecting a raiding party to show up at some point, and the abandoned lumber camp that was before the village. That was indeed abandoned, and all the stuff was indeed taken, presumably in anticipation or by them. You don't know that. So, where do you guys want to go and look?
If the village, if the city is in the mountain, then that would assume that the villages surrounding it can only basically be, you know, in a certain direction, right? Because like you have the mountain behind it. I guess it could be behind the mountain as well, but I mean, logic would sort of dictate that it probably would be easier if the villages were in front in terms of trying to create trade routes and such. So I would say that we'd probably like
Going back to the place where we were last night seems folly. They have probably sent those reinforcements back there. Perhaps we should pick a new direction.
You know where they'll be. I can look for traces, but I'm not a tracker.
Okay, so like, yeah, I would pick. I would say probably try to pick a direction from the mountain that would be like, if the where is the place that we were attacked in relation to where we suspect the city to be based on the information he gave us.
The way you can see it right now, I'll move you guys up to the map real quick, the global map. Let's see if that works. You guys expect the city, at least the actual Oderheim, to be kind of built somewhere around there. You guys are currently somewhere in this forest in this area. Maybe a little bit closer to the mountain, because you guys went away from the village and find a safe spot in a more denser forest previously, so you kind of moved away.
Where did we come from? Because I feel like I've confused myself. We came from up here somewhere. Like, I'm just going to draw. You can delete it.
Yeah, that's the direction that you guys came from. Yeah.
And we came down here.
Yeah.
We're somewhere around here.
Yeah.
So we think Oderheim is here.
Yep. He said follow the path, and the path leads in that general direction. He did say it was built against the mountain, and that's one of the largest mountains in this area, if not the largest mountain that you have ever seen. It's a massive mountain.
Perhaps if we go back to the abandoned timber mill village, I could pick up some sort of track, see where they came from.
Well, it could have been months. Longer, we don't know.
I say we go south or southeast. I think going back to the area we were attacked is a bad plan.
I agree. South should do us.
I thought south is where we were attacked.
No,
Can we run
literally-
back away from that village?
We literally just drew it on the map, like Brad just had it up there.
It's basically dead east
Yeah.
is where we were attacked. South would take us slightly away from the strangely antagonistic and aggressive human populace of Oderheim and the surrounding villages.
Who's the real monster with Bradwater?
He's a very
Well, they're-
sensitive Goliath, so you know.
They're weird and aggressive because of the orcs that are in the area, but we need to find the orcs that are in the area. So unfortunately, we need to. I don't know. I have no idea how to track these people or these things.
I mean,
Either
I
as
don't.
Brad or in character. I
I
have no
mean,
idea.
like,
Tracking is
Can I-
survival, right?
can I make some kind of roll to determine, like, what would make the most sense for this?
Yeah, give me a, what would that be? A survival history? General intelligence? Investigation?
That depends how you're going about it. As in, if you're using past knowledge of these people, it would be.
Yeah, I mean,
history.
it would-
If you're using.
Yeah, I
you know,
mean, it would probably be past knowledge and survival experience, somewhere, like, in between, you know? Like,
Yeah, make a,
With-
because you are part of the tribe, make a... You're trying to deduce what would be the most logical thing, right?
yeah.
Make an investigation check with advantage.
14?
14. If they are in the area, which, as far as the information you have gotten, makes sense because they were expecting them, it probably would be away from the city, so it would have indeed gone south. You would expect them to be somewhere in the immediate area, within like a day's travel. There might have been a makeshift camp, somewhere south, but it's a large area. It's going to be
They
difficult
can
to find.
only be south, east, southwest, or dead south, which leads to a mountain anyway. So
Yep.
I say we go south. It seems the most likely place. Since we are not welcome at the city, what other choices do we have?
heading south either way makes sense.
It,
Whether we
Yeah.
find them, whether we don't.
While we're traveling then, I'm going to be looking out for signs of an orc raiding party. I don't know, like a leg discarded to the side.
you know, like a clear sign that says the orcs
Yeah.
were here. Yeah,
Orc
there's-
secret base.
Wad.
I'm looking out for signs of everyone because everyone here is a
yeah.
threat.
The only way that you guys probably would have been able to get into the city possibly safe, indeed, was the individual that you guys let go. So the only best bet you guys have now to make a good impression is to prove that you guys also want to kill orcs. So you guys start moving south. Alright, I'm assuming that Theo moves to the front, as she
Yes.
often does.
Yes, as usual.
Alright. And you guys start moving indeed through the forest, and there's this initial hour of travel that definitely has increased tension, because you guys know that immediately towards the east there's probably reinforcements of Oderheim. And you guys don't know if the individual you spoke to has spoken to them, if the situation has been handled, or if it has been aggravated. You don't know that.
Just so
Yeah.
you know, Ace, I rolled a stealth check. For
Yeah, you don't exist anymore. Like, you're gone.
You just like put your legs together, and it's just like dropping a pencil in the snow. It's just like
Like, once again, like, suddenly the forest seems significantly more empty for no apparent reason. As you move forward, making no sound even in an already very quiet place, because there is snow everywhere, which is a natural an insulator, and you are able to maintain an even greater silence. Make a perception check, as you guys have been traveling for about an hour just straight south.
There you go.
Wow, okay.
Shit.
As luck may have it, you do find the remnants of what seems to be of a makeshift camp. You see where, a fireplace that has been kicked to the side and put out. You can see definitely some half-eaten animal bones. Or carcasses that have been, like, crudely ripped apart as if somebody was having a makeshift barbecue.
Oh, I'm so torn. What am I gonna do here? I ignore it and keep traveling south.
Alright.
I'm like actively looking out for any signs of a raiding party. Can I do like a survival or something?
Well, you guys keep moving south.
I mean, those guys will come up on it after I do, so, you know.
Yeah, you guys also come across this abandoned makeshift camp. You guys seem to be on some kind of trail. But depending on how hot or how cold it is, you do know. Natea might know. Give me a survival check.
Okay, wait, Wolf, I don't think you understand what happened there. I don't want to help the city. I don't care about killing orcs, and so I ignored the camp and I kept going as if I hadn't seen
Well,
it.
everybody is moving south, right? So at some point they would presumably get across it.
Yes, but presumably they also need to see it. Are they also perception checking, or is that just like, I did that for, like...
No,
Yeah, I mean,
you are
you
moving
want us to
ahead.
roll too?
Right? The way I perceive it is you're leading the way. They're following your lead.
But I am ignoring this.
Okay, alright. Alright, yeah, you guys don't see a camp. You guys are unaware of this camp, and you do know, and as you move south, I do want you to make a survival check. Natea.
I think that they should probably roll perception to see if the camp is there as well, if they're passing through the same area.
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of trying to. I mean, we're keeping
I'm
an eye out as
actively
well,
looking
right?
for it personally.
I mean, we're on like on our guard basically, like basic, based on.
Well, considering you had like double crit, I kind of assumed that you were able to lead them away from the camp if you were actively trying to.
Well, that was just to notice it. I mean, they're moving behind me. They don't even know where I am. They haven't.
Alright,
seen
well,
me.
in that case, everybody who wants to make a perception check, make a perception check. I'm not gonna complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get your hook back in.
She's got like makeup in her
Wow.
eyes.
It's like, yeah, there's like this white stuff that gets into your eye, like for the makeup.
I think Natea put too much on. Do you see anything there?
You're a very handsome woman, Karata.
No,
Right.
I mean in my eye. I feel something itching there.
Alright, as Velian, like, you kinda instinctively help Kurata, for whatever reason you felt like it. However, Janathest, you do notice, off to the side, you barely miss it. You barely walk, I guess you almost miss it, but you do notice, like, some half-eaten animals that seem to have been crudely torn apart. Let's take a closer look. You do notice a makeshift camp.
I'll shout forward, Natea.
Hearing Janathus shout my name, I come back towards the rest of them. I'm not that far away.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I just point at because like Valiant and Karate are like, is there something in my? There's something in your eye. And I just point at the this abandoned sort of makeshift camp.
There is a moment of like, oh shit, they saw it. Like you can see it, like just for a nanosecond in my expression, and then it continues. Oh. Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I trust I will give people the benefit of the doubt and want to believe the best in people. So I don't think you've just been a jerk.
I mean, do we even know if this is an orc camp? This could be any.
Yeah, like, it's just a camp.
I'm gonna go and investigate it then.
Alright. Yeah, make an investigation check.
I'd like to survive it.
I've got two enormous skin line fingers in Kurata's eye, trying to get a hair out, but my fingers are too big and Goliathy.
No, just use some snow. Oh! Ah! Ah!
Hold still.
No, just where is the snow?
All right. Yeah, it's very difficult to ascertain if this actually is an orc camp. There's no significant markers. Like, it just looks like an old camp.
Can I see any tracks coming away from this camp?
As you take a look, everybody's looking for like any signs for tracks and such. Yeah, make a survival check.
Oh, come on!
Are we all doing it?
I rolled 3 crit fails in a row!
Alright, yeah, Kurata, you're still feeling the effects of a Goliath finger, in your face, in your eye, to be specifically, correct?
The reckoning is coming, man. 3 crit fails in a row. It's gonna be like 5 fucking crit hits.
It's coming.
Yeah, Janathus, you are not an experienced tracker. You have some kind of intuition for it, but you're not really good at it for some reason. And there's so much snow here. It's just, there's no tracks. There's no tracks. And Velian, after you help Kurata for a little bit, but she just kind of pushes you away, you kind of start looking around. You, however, do notice multiple tracks moving in multiple directions. There's a few going north, northwest, as well as southeast.
I will, like, discover them and then tell the others, these tracks appear to be going northwest and southeast, so...
Are they animal tracks or humanoid tracks?
Humanoid.
Do I know?
But that you would know. Like, they're humanoid. Like, they look like boots.
These belong to the people of this camp, yeah.
Boots. Is Kurata wearing boots?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I'm like not sure if orcs are barefoot or not.
I think you're thinking of halflings.
Especially not in the snow.
Yeah, I'm wearing big leather, like big leather pants and boots.
I make a good show of looking like I'm examining these tracks as if I know what I'm doing, but I'm not a tracker. Like, I don't even have survival. Like,
Alright. Well, yeah, you look around. Do you want to roll for it to see how good you either deceive or actually track?
I roll deception.
Alright. Yeah. Natea, for the first time in a long while, actually seems somewhat clumsy. For whatever reason. But, she's looking around. And you trust her eyes. But she's unable to find anything. Or pretend that she does.
Tracks. Does it look like heavy tracks?
They look
Well, they are boots and they belong to whoever camped here. Be it orcs or men. It matters not, we simply follow them south.
It's the only lead we have right now.
I mean, I'm assuming that the ones that went northwest are the ones that kind of fucked up the lumber mill, or maybe I don't know.
It could be a variety of reasons. Like, there's always tracks around camps because people forest, people hunt for breakfast, dinner, lunch, brunch. It could be all kinds of...
Well, we've got more chance of finding the ones which are south. In fact, we have more chance of finding the ones which have gone south.
south is a good direction. I agree.
Alright.
I mean, I'll point them out to Natea, even though out of character, she's probably going to just lead us awry. But I'll point them out and say, here is what I see. If you attempt to track these.
By the way, just so that the misconception isn't there that I'm like sort of leading the way, it's more like you guys are walking in the direction where I am ahead of you, and I know where you are, and I'm just trying to keep a lookout further ahead so that you don't come up on anything dangerous. It's not that I'm sort of like leading the way tracking.
Okay. I assumed that since you were ahead...
It's more that I am nearby and quiet, you know?
Okay. And ahead of the party, but
you're a scout, not a navigator.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. Alright. In that case, you guys
Yeah,
move.
I'm just like patting snow in my eyes, like, oh, that feels so much better. Oh,
For some reason, the snow is somewhat yellow, but you guys move south, southeast. Southeast?
Yeah. Oh, I mean south of the tracks, wherever the tracks were leading.
They were going southeast.
I mean, I would pipe up, but I'm like so fucking like I rolled 3 crits. Like
You're effectively out of the game for like the next 5 minutes. Like,
I point southeast for Natea to scout ahead.
all right.
Yeah.
In that case, Natea, make a perception check, and those who are actively tracking the tracks, give me a survival check. All right. Yeah, Natea, you don't notice much of anything. It looks relatively clear. You do see the occasional wild animal, like the large deers, kind of like react and skip away instinctively. But beyond that, it seems quite peaceful and quite beautiful. Janathest, you are still able to keep a good eye on the tracks. Even though there's thick snow, you are able to see wherever this particular group has either traveled towards to or has come from. And you will continue your search following these tracks. For another hour, you guys travel further south, southeast.
Yeah, every time Natea keeps sort of veering off accidentally on purpose, I'll just sort of like, just like give her a click or a whistle. Sort of like, she's like off her game today. Something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right. And with that, make a flat d20 check, Natea. 5 or lower is bad, 1 is worse.
Oh, one of these. Okay. There you go.
All right. Make a perception check.
Okay.
I dodge.
I take a passive nuke action. All right. In the distance, you see a small group of large humanoid silhouettes standing. They stand in like a circle. They look like they have a conversation. They are clothed in like thick leathers and adorned with large cloaks of fur. Difficult to make out from this distance who they are. But you do notice that as you witness them, they start getting riled up. And that riled up starts getting into like screaming. And it starts sounding like there's thunder nearby. It's just these voices, they are so booming, it reminds you of thunder. As you guys approach, you now also hear that as well. Natea, before that, I want you to make a stealth check.
Sure.
You said we hear it as well?
As you guys approach, you can hear echoing in the distance this thundering sound that sounds like voices.
I just start to like scrape the snow off my face quickly, and I say, "It is them."
Exactly, you know exactly. This is of a very familiar sound. They do not notice you, Natea, and you are instinctively getting into a favorable position as you hide in the shadows.
Yeah, I keep along the tree line and just kind of try and get closer to see if I can like actually see if they're orcs.
All right. As you guys approach, Natea, as you get closer as well, unable, not being spotted, you do notice that they have the same color of skin as Kurata, but they definitely look more. They look less
awesome.
Naturally, but they look more brutish. They look more savage in nature. Rugged builds, muscles that would rival the most strong of folk you ever seen, and they have large weapons with them. And there's one of them that doesn't seem to carry a large weapon. He just carries a shield, and what appears to be some kind of hand axe.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait for the others to sort of get into position.
Yeah, I just sort of like instantly grab Janathest and Velian, and I just sort of like pull them like down into a crouching position, and I say,
The Storm Screamers. Can you not hear the rumble?
I thought that was a storm. Oh.
I hope Natea is okay.
By the way, if these guys notice the other three, if these orcs notice the other three, I want to take an action to immediately shoot one. Like, I've got my bow like limbered up, like ready to go.
Yeah. If you guys were to engage soon, you would get a surprise round, even.
Well, I'm going to ask Karata. How should we approach and how should we engage?
Catching them off guard is the best possible situation.
"Can I tell how many there are?"
From this point, you are still too far away. You're just gonna hear in the distance this very familiar chant. It's one of the reasons why they have the name that they've got.
Okay. I say,
What does screaming do?
It is a chant to Grumsh, the god. It gets them ready for battle. It is their prayer. It is their life.
Then we should wait and let them engage whoever it is they're about to engage.
Yes, maybe we can catch them off guard and take them out.
We should see if we can find out how many there are and then ambush them.
If they are about to attack some of these humans, we're going to find ourselves against two foes, two groups.
I think we need to get closer and determine their numbers.
Lead on.
Alright, so you guys try to get closer and following the sound.
yeah, I mean, I'm just trying, I'm not good at it. I have disadvantage, but I'm going to try and be as stealthy as possible, clinking along.
Alright. Makes sense. Everybody make a stealth check. Nathea, you keep your previous stealth check still. You're in the shadows, behind a tree,
I
in the
also
snow.
get disadvantage, by the way.
Everybody make a stealth check. Janathus gets disadvantage
Oh, wait, why didn't it roll 2?
because
Shit.
you made a dex save as opposed to a stealth check.
No, it's a stealth check.
On the cob.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Fuck.
Yeah, you guys approach, and Natea, you can hear them approach. There's like loud sounds of armor just echoing through the forest. And you do notice, Natea, that these 3 individuals, the ones with the large axes, they don't seem to be bothered. However, the one who's wearing the shield and the one-handed axe, he tells them to stop as the thunderous, booming voices suddenly stop, and he starts looking around.
He's got
He
God's
does not
ears.
see you, however, he does look forward and sees your allies in the distance.
I shoot him.
Yeah, and with that, let's roll some initiative. Alright. Hold on, battle music. Here we go. Let's do this. I will move you guys to the battlefield. There you go. Natea, I'm gonna say that you are somewhere... actually, I have to move them down a little bit. Because you guys are coming from the north. I'll put them down here. That's where they are. Natea, you're probably gonna be somewhere around here in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are indeed coming from the north, so position your characters, and I want to see some delicious initiative.
I rolled mine using your initiative thing already, so I need to get a turn added, and I'll pop it
I
in
don't
there.
see your initiative.
I hit the button, your initiative button, so I got a 4.
That's 2 20s. That's a 24.
Oh, like that, yeah. I'm gonna have to remove that macro because the sheet is messing up with it. Alright, 20, 20, 24. God damn, you guys are doing well. Alright.
Except for me, I got a 4. I just need you to add
Oh,
a turn
hold on.
for me so I can.
I mean, I'm facing completely the wrong way.
So let's make that a 6.
Still got,
Ready!
still got snow in your eyes.
There they are. Ew, I see them.
Alright,
You could just roll initiative again, whack, and then change it manually.
yeah. Do that if you can. Alright.
Jesus.
You guys have good initiatives. Kurata, you have adjusted your initiative already?
Yeah.
Alright. In that case, yeah, we're gonna do a surprise round indeed. So Natea, give me your attack.
Okie dokie. I strike at our friend there in the front with the shield.
With the shield. Alright.
The one who, like, told everybody to stop and is clearly in charge.
Yep. Give me an attack with advantage, and if it hits, it's an automatic crit.
Go.
Alright. Unfortunately, it goes wide.
Yeah.
And is at the end of your move, do you take a bonus action to hide again?
I do, of course.
Alright.
Do, of course, keep myself hidden if I can.
Makes sense. Alright, 14. The cleric still sees you, but the other 3 don't. Alright. In that case, since we are in a surprise round, we're gonna go and just go back to Natea.
I shoot at that guy again.
Alright. He has spotted you, so
That's
you're
okay.
not. So you don't get advantage on it. It's gonna be a regular attack.
I shoot at the other guy then.
The ones below?
Yeah, the guy on the left.
Guy on the left. Alright, also go. Actually, no, this actually hits because you have advantage on him. Alright. Beautiful. Give me some normal damage and a sneak attack. 12, very nice.
And then I am going to move over there. And take a bonus action to hide again. There we go.
Alright, yeah, you disappear in the shadows. At this point, you can hear those voices once again screaming "Rah!" as they start going and just charge forward, seeing these folk coming at them. And they charge forward, and you can see that they start frothing at the mouth. Their eyes, they just turn red with fire as they charge forward. The second one that has taken an arrow and is actually profusely bleeding now also starts screaming loudly and just charges forward. Velian, your turn.
Lol. Y'all motherfuckers gonna get wrecked. I'm gonna Scorching Ray 2 of them into the bleeding dude and 1 into the other one.
Alright.
First 2 into the first dude and then the second dude.
Yeah, both hit. Actually, yeah, everything just hit. So the first 2, 16 damage in the left one.
16 on the bleeding dude and 7 on the whichever one isn't bleeding.
Alright, the one next to him, essentially. Alright,
Sure.
oh yeah. You scorch his half or his orcish skin and just like it starts melting. But he still stands. Just looking more angry.
I'm gonna
Janephist.
dive down behind this rock.
Alright. it will give you half cover. It's like another large rock. It doesn't give you full cover. They can still see you, especially with your towering physique. But Janephist, what do you do?
PG, you're muted.
Muted. Like a moron.
Whoa!
Wow.
Jeez. So I'm gonna walk by this tree, and I'm going to drop a bless on... I still can't reach Antea, right? No. I'm going to drop a bless on me, Karata, and Velian. So there's the nothing. There's just the word bless for you. That'll help you out.
It's a reminder.
It's a reminder. We know bless does. It's fine.
Yeah, 1d4
Alright.
to attack or saving throws.
Yeah.
Alright, so take that 1d4. Keep that in mind. Alright,
It's
you can...
concentration, by the way, Ace, yeah.
It is indeed a concentration. And that's gonna be important. Alright, you can hear once again screams that sound almost like thunder itself. Raging forward. And these guys, they don't look like they're just angry or raging. They look like they're beyond. Tapping into something way beyond that. They look fucking... Yeah, I don't know. If I had a better lexicon, I would be able to describe it, but...
Insane.
Berserk.
They look
Berserk.
frenzied, almost, if you will. But with that, we go and the individual with the shield. He's gonna move forward and cast. All right. 120. All right. He sees the closest individual is another religious man. The other one is behind a piece of rock. He's gonna cast Guiding Bolt at you. Alright, here we go.
Guiding bolt at whom?
At
Janathest.
Janathest.
Okay.
19? Is that a hit, or do you have 20 AC?
You're muted again.
We can't hear you through the mute.
I don't know if anyone's told Peachy how like muting and unmuting works, but he seems to
Picking
only
on
have
me, you
about.
bastards!
You seem to have a grasp of half of it, the muting part.
Regardless, let's keep the pace up.
18 is my...
Alright, yeah, it hits then. You see this bluish energy streaking towards you as you take 10 radiant damage. Just strikes you.
I'm a priest, so that heals me, right?
No. Give me a concentration check as you take 10 radiant damage, and it feels like thunder itself just hit you in the chest. Your sternum doesn't break. Alright, your bless stays up. Kurata, you see familiar shapes in front of you.
I keep my glaive on my back, and I take my frost axe and my shield, and I am gonna move forward, and I yell,
Berserkers! Careful!
and I will move to there, and I will. Well, actually, I'll move there. Sorry, and I will take the dodge action.
Shield out, dodge action. You're getting ready to take a few blows.
Yeah, and I yell,
Come get some!
Alright, Natea. They're charging
I-
past you.
I take another shot at the guy who I hit before. Another arrow straight through the woods towards him.
He hasn't seen you because you rolled way too high of a stealth, so give me, of course, the...
Go.
Yeah, that hits. 13. Very nice.
And then sneak.
7, 20 damage. Yeah, you hit him right in a sensitive spot. He looked rough.
And then I'm going to take a bonus action to hide because hiding is great.
Right, give me a
There you
stealth
go.
check.
turn his balls into shish kebab.
Right. Like, you see this orc, this towering orc, like, look around, bleeding. But he's unable to spot you. Which brings us to the berserkers. They now rush forward. They just almost dive into you with this great axe, and they swing. Not only do they swing twice at you, but they swing at you with reckless attack. You can see that they forgo their own defense and just want to kill you, which means it's a normal attack. 'Cause you have dodge action, right?
Yeah.
All right. The first attack is 24. That hits. Bonus action, 16.
16 misses.
All right.
And with heavy armor master, I'm going to -3 from regular slashing, bludgeoning, and
This is true. You have heavy armor master. Very nice. That's a D8. I need a D12. Where am I D12 at, yo? How does a D12 look? A dice with 12 sides. Ha! As you take the raging. Let's see. You take 14 slashing damage.
Okay.
As this first axe carves into your side, but the second one swings wide. As you're able to deflect it with your shield. Alright. And they just keep standing there. The second one. He also just rushes at you. Does the exact same thing. Leaps at you. And swings at you twice. The first attack. Well, that's a 9, so that's gonna be a miss. The second attack.
And actually, since it's a 9, Ace, I'm going to use riposte.
Alright.
And
Give it to me.
Okay, so riposte. I think I have this set up right, but let's just do it the normal way. So I have to attack with my frosted axe first. 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so it's 11 plus I add a d8.
Go and give me.
So 13.
Alright, as you hit, you do feel...
Oh, actually, do I get advantage on that?
You do, because they're doing, oh shit, I actually had to roll twice then. Good point, I forgot Savage, the reckless attack for myself as an... Actually, no, it's a random attack, normal attack. Yeah, you get advantage. That's a crit. You're absolutely right, it's 22 damage. You give me another d8.
Another d8.
Alright, that's 22.
So, yeah, so 22 plus 5, so 27.
27.
Damn.
Fucking hell. Alright.
Okay, so like I duck under the axe and I'm like, "Rrrr!"
Yeah, though you can feel that they ignore most of the pain, this dude is like already charred and black and he just drops. You cleave him in half with the one-handed axe as he drops. Velian,
Who
your
is
turn.
counting? I have the first.
I pop out from my little rock, whirling up my no, I'm not. I'm spinning my staff in a circle in front of me, and from it 3 more scorching rays. I'm gonna target the religious-looking dude.
All
in the
right.
back.
All right.
I have a D4 on some of those. For the bless. I have the bless, right? I have bless.
Yeah, you do have bless. The first one misses.
On a 15, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
misses. The second one, of course, hits. There's no doubt about that.
and then a 22.
Yeah, like you hit the crit one and the third one. So you do a total of how much fire damage?
So 6 and 8, 14, 24.
24?
Yeah.
Jesus fuck, yeah, he also just gets incinerated as these beams of fire just crush him.
Hell yeah. And then I'll duck back behind my little rock there.
The next one to Valian. Natea, you are falling behind.
Where is Natea? I don't think we even know where the fuck she is, do we?
You just know there's a couple of arrows in one of the orcs.
She's
you know?
around, yeah.
Possible good merchandising, by the way. That's could be a good T-shirt. Where is Natea?
All right, Velian, you're done?
Yeah.
All right. Janathus, your turn.
So I am going to run up, and as I'm running, I just like clench my fist, and it starts to glow with this holy light. And I am gonna Fist of Skadi him.
Swing miss. Actually, no.
Bless?
Yeah, actually,
Don't get
yeah, no, it's a
once-
crit. It's a crit. Because Savage, reckless attack, sorry. Yo, you crit.
That's force damage. I don't know what they negate.
Actually, that's a spell. The Fist of Skadi is apparently your spell.
Yep.
well, it makes my I can what's it called? It
It's-
makes my gauntlet a holy weapon.
No. The force damage comes
Or
from your
magical
spiritual
weapon.
weapon. Your force damage comes from your spiritual weapon, and you did not summon it. But it's a bonus action, so if you summon it...
Oh, is that what that was? Am I thinking that paladin thing? I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you're thinking of Sacred Weapon by Blood and Mist.
Okay, so I don't. I'm in too many D&D shows, man. So I'll summon the Fist of Skadi next to him and just whip him upside his head.
Alright, yeah, draw your fist in a 5-foot square so you can...
Bless drops. Because it's concentration. isn't
Nope,
it?
spiritual weapon is not concentration.
Wow, I suck today. Which is
Knowing
nice.
your spell is important. So yeah, you crit for 13 force damage. Yeah, that fucking hurts. Alright. And you moved as well, so that's gonna be the end of your turn. Actually, the casting is a bonus action. You still have your main action.
Well, the attack is
Bonus action.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, then. Fuck it. Can I just punch him?
Yeah, you can. You can actually
I'm
punch
gonna-
him with
I'm
your
gonna
fist right now.
punch this motherfucker.
Alright, the Fist of Sadi comes down, followed by a left from the cleric himself. Another crit! Jesus, mother... Alright, as you go in there with your fist, you do notice that they give a lot of resistance. But still, another crit? Really? Alright, that's 10 damage.
Really?
Alright, beautiful. Which brings us to the one, another reckless attack comes at you, cleric, as you see this towering orc just jump on you. Alright. That is 19. That hits. And then we have 24. I'm gonna assume that hits as well then. Alright, we have...
He gets advantage on me because of Guiding Bolt. So you might want to roll again.
You're right. I actually gets advantage anyway because he's doing a reckless attack. So it doesn't
okay.
matter. The first hit with the Great Axe is 17 slashing damage. The second attack is a total of 10 slashing damage.
So the Fist of Skadi disappears and I fall on the ground.
Alright, the cleric is down. Speaking of clerics that are down, that one is down as well. Kurata. You see Genesis going down as the berserker cleaves into him.
Which one just attacked him?
The one at the bottom, essentially. The one at the bottom of him.
Yeah, and this guy has been hit by a few attacks already, too.
Yeah, that one looks definitely on the more rough side of things.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna strike at him with my frosted axe as I yell,
Janitas is down!
Strike. And I will not use my bless because it's out. I will action surge
Alright.
and attack again. 21.
Alright, yeah, the first swing misses. The second swing indeed does connect for 9 slashing damage.
And I'm gonna use distracting
Another
strike.
D8.
Yep. So for another 3.
So the next attack on him is advantage.
Yep.
Correct? Alright. Which means we go to Natea. Now the next attack would have been advantage on him anyway because he's doing reckless. But
Yeah, but menacing won't work.
yeah,
so-
this is true. This is true. Alright, so yeah, it's another... He's starting to look very fucking rough.
I am going to fire at him for that advantage. Phew.
Alright, 17. Yeah, you hit. I'm not even gonna... Yeah, you can roll your sneak just for shits and giggles. Yeah. You shoot him straight through his brain from the back of his skull, goes out to the front, and he drops as well.
There's a moment of silence where if I were a wittier character and not a quieter one, I would have said 1. But you know Natea, so there you go.
Alright. Now that orc is indeed dead. Velian.
I still something up for you.
This guy, this other orc, how does he look right now? He looks okay.
He looks pretty good shape. In fact, yeah, looks like he is but never better.
Alright, then I am creating a circly, spinny propeller once more.
Alright. Yeah, you crit. What is up with all your fucking crits? Like what?
Wow. Is that a double crit?
That's double crit
Holy
on the
shit.
second. Yeah, the first one hits for 11. The second one hits for crit damage. The third one hits for crit damage. How much fire damage does this dude take?
11, 14, 25, 25 plus 12.
25 plus 12.
27.
27.
Okay.
Or 37, sorry.
37. Sorry, yeah, no, I was
37?
working it out too. 37
He
fire
still
damage.
stands.
He still stands?
Barely.
Barely.
Yeah, he looks like you just like burned almost one of his arms off. His face is like melting as if this is like fucking Indiana Jones scene. But he still stands.
Alright, I slam my staff into the ground and a small boost of energy encompasses me as I use a bonus action to create another 3rd level spell slot.
Alright. Can we just point out how many crits have you guys rolled in this fucking... I hate...
This has been crit session.
Yeah, this is
Session of crits.
amazing. Holy shit.
Beautiful. Also, you hit us with stuff that gives us advantage, so it's like,
Yeah,
yay!
that is indeed true. Death saving throw, that's a
Double
fail.
chances.
Death saving throw is a
I can't
fail.
use inspiration to get advantage on a death saving throw, right?
I'll allow it.
I think you can actually.
Yeah. Doesn't matter though. Your inspiration is gone.
Is a save.
Your inspiration is gone, and you have one fail. Alright,
worth it.
this creature, like normal individuals of sound mind and body would at this point consider retreating, but these guys, they don't seem to understand the word retreat. They're beyond retreating as... Okay, I'm not gonna do that.
To be fair, I know what you're thinking. Are they clever
Yeah.
enough to do that? Then they should do that.
The thing is,
It would be an outright, you'd be dead.
the problem is, he just got blasted with like a bunch of fucking fire. So he's going to use his bonus action to move up to Velian, avoiding an attack of opportunity, and
I'm
just
not
strike.
trained.
No, yeah, you don't have your glaive, right? It's you're
Nope.
using it.
My
Yeah.
axe.
All right. In which case, you receive 2 attacks. Well, it's a natural 2, so that's going to be a miss. Bonus action. Natural 1. All right. He swings like I said, one of his arms is half blown off, so he swings wide, and you just sidestep it. Kurata.
Let me just check something real quick because
You
fuck.
do see that Janathus is bleeding out severely. He's unconscious. He could die literally at any moment.
I always feel like things wouldn't necessarily stab the thing they just already think is dead either. If you think of how a fight would go, they'd
Yeah,
down
I mean-
and then go for the next person standing.
Yeah. You're
Well, the thing
preoccupied
is-
by
Because I always think this as well. I'm like, would this motherfucker kill this motherfucker? I'm like, no, there's a dude stood in front of him like,
Yeah, but these are mindless rage creatures. They tend to just keep going at the same target because they're blinded by rage.
So
But yeah.
I'm gonna sort of I whip out a healing potion and just sort of pop the cork on it and just grab Janathus and like cram it into his mouth and just
All right, that takes your full action. Right.
yeah.
In that case, since you're applying the potion, roll for heal.
Was it 2d4 plus 2?
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
these are orcs, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at, okay, just checking. I didn't.
6.
Right, you heal for 6 health. As you're once again able to breathe.
I'm healing you, Janathus, with my one healing potion.
Do you take some movement?
I would have been.
Well, knowing your luck,
roll
the one is coming next.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and then I'm gonna run up to this fucker, and
You would have died. If it wasn't for the potion, you would have actually died. Like, no return, new character be made, die.
Wow.
Good job, Black. Good job.
can I call him or not? I mean,
yeah.
like I know Peachy. Like I know Peachy.
Yeah. Like, in all fairness, I would be okay with that because you guys have been critting for damn days.
So like, I've killed Peachy enough times so that I know when his death is coming. Like I have a
Smell me rolling at one from yards away.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I've literally killed Peachy double digits. Like
yeah.
so.
I can understand now why. Which brings
Okay.
us to Natea, because you use your full action and your movement. So Natea, it is your turn.
I shoot at the orc. As I
All
do.
right.
Phew.
With advantage and with sneak attack.
Wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah.
You once again just. How do you kill it?
The arrow goes directly through the back of its head and out of its eye.
You can hear me
Alright.
yell as it goes through.
No! Natea won again!
Yeah, like there's this little eye fluid that covers you, Velian, but also this creature perishes. This orc. Alright, and with that, combat is seemingly over as silence returns. The snow kind of filling with crimson, this darker crimson. You guys look around, wait for a minute. No danger. You find yourself once again in this thick forest with now 4 dead orc bodies.
I emerge from the sort of tree line on the side there, and as I come out into like the visible path, I'm dusting my shoulders, you know, like.
I'm pointing at Janathus and I'm saying,
If I did not heal him, that would have been my kill.
So, as I walk towards Karata and this blue glow, I'm doing my priest bullshit, like fills me, and I refill half my health plus one.
Right.
'cause of my
Channel
bullshit.
Divinity?
And I'll just say to put my hand on Karata's shoulder and say, "Thank you.
I kneel down next
I know
to
how much that kill meant to you."
next to the fellow here who is like the cleric or what have you.
Yeah.
The different one, and start with my dagger sawing into his neck.
Alright, yeah, it's a bloody endeavor, but you just start carving away. Takes a little while.
Just butchering, you know, like I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to take his head off.
Yeah, it takes a while. They're, you know, even in death, the hide, the flesh that they have is sturdy. But yeah, you now hold in your hand a orc head.
I'm searching for this cleric's holy symbol.
are they wearing cloaks?
Oh yeah, like they're wearing patchwork.
Do they have cloaks with unblinking eyes on them?
Yeah. No, it's more like in their letters. It's like I don't want to say burned in, I guess, not branded, but burned in. And speaking of holy symbols, he does have a holy symbol made out of like black iron or some material like it, and it is indeed what appears to be an eye. I believe even in a fist. Hold on, let me check my thing. It's the symbol's like an unblinking eye. It's just like one eye that forever remains open. That's his holy symbol.
Do I know that?
Oh yeah, you do. You do know it. This is
I know it.
without a shadow of a doubt the symbol that represents Groomsh, the chaotic evil god of the orcs that has influence over both war and storms.
Yeah, I just kind of spit towards the symbol.
I am going to pull out my dagger, and I'm gonna carve the symbol of Skati, the mountain, into his chest to try and get rid of this evil cleric
Alright.
before me that disgusts me to my
I
very.
just generally like checking them out, by the way. I want to see if they got any good shit on them.
Alright, yeah, Yeah, you just you go and loot them essentially, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
I'm also assuming that all the heads are being removed from all the bodies.
Oh yeah, I whip out the glaive and I just I'm smiling when I do it.
I'm
Right.
confused as hell as to why you're all removing.
Does anybody else speak Orcish?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm talking in Orcish the whole time,
All right. As
What are you
Kurata,
actually saying, though?
and it sounds angry as fuck.
yeah,
Karate sounds angry as fuck all the time.
this is like
Extra karate.
yeah, this is like vicious anger. Like this comes from a deep place of hatred, as opposed to excitement. Regardless, the bodies itself, they don't actually have a lot of goods. They don't look rich by any means. There's a few pouches, that don't seem to belong to them at all. They have like, a small symbol of what is it? A small symbol of a little plant, presumably the symbol of the farmers.
By the way, Ace, do I recognize any of these guys? Do you want me? Can I
Make
like, roll
make
anything?
make. You look at them. I was almost gonna say, well, they all look alike these days. You don't necessarily recognize them. Like maybe, like you have been away from the tribe for quite a while, and faces changes depending on how many beatings they have taken. You don't recognize them as particular specific individuals. Like you think you know one of the berserkers that you have seen in passing, that you may have spotted, watching down and just like screaming at you while you were in the pits. But yeah, they don't stand out as any specific members. The tribe is large.
Does this cleric have a crossbow on him?
No, he does not. He's holding a rudimentary axe, as well as a wooden shield. Yes.
I'm gonna take this holy symbol from him.
All right. You have a holy symbol of Grunge now with you.
What's in my new pouches with the symbol on them that Velian doesn't give a fuck about?
You get a total of 9 gold pieces,
Fuck yeah, I'll take 9 gold.
as well as 12 silver pieces.
Fuck yeah, I'll take 12 silver.
It's not a whole lot. Like this is definitely gold that they probably stole from like some poor folk. Well, poor from villagers essentially.
But so in terms of stuff they have on them though, do they look like they have their camping stuff on them, or do they look like they've come from a camp nearby?
They have some camping stuff, some rudimentary stuff. They seem to not actually carry like tents with them and such, at all.
Well, neither do I. So we can assume that they're like the scouting party. They're not just a break off from a nearby camp or anything.
It's an assumption you can make, yeah.
Okay, that's all I really want to work out. Other than that, I don't care. I just watch everyone cutting heads off and don't understand why everyone is cutting heads off.
Do you ask?
No.
Do you think these are enough heads?
It will never be enough.
And I start talking in Orc like extra fucking loud and angry. And I chop the last one's head off.
I look at Natea because, Karata's a bit right now.
Yeah, and as the last head gets cut off, there's at the exact same time there is this sound of thunder in what appears to be normally a clear sky. But the weather remains the same.
I look over to Natea.
Mm.
Do you think this will be enough to get us into the city?
He said bring heads. These are heads. I toss you the head of the cleric.
So I'm sorry, you have the symbol on you, the holy symbol there, Jonathan?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I walk over to you and I point to it and I say,
Give that to me.
Yeah, give it to you.
I put it on a rock and smash it.
Alright. You smash the holy symbol. Takes a few dents. It's pretty sturdy stuff. But yeah, it starts bending and
Yeah, like
denting.
basically I'm taking it on the rock and I'm just sort of like, I use like the back of the axe, and I'm just sort of like, and I just, till I can like bend it and like snap it.
Takes a while, like I said, sort of, yeah, ultimately, using the environment to your advantage, yeah, you do break the holy symbol.
I'll cast Sacred Flame on the remains of it, just to purify it from its evil. And hopefully make Karata feel a little better.
I do actually, like I look at Janathist and sort of incline my head.
I'm stepping over and saying, "Why are you collecting heads to go to the city? I thought we were freeing slaves."
Does not hurt to have some heads for leverage.
I shrug. I shrug.
City is that
I
way.
get confused at how that we would use heads to like open a door or push a cart over or something.
Well, you simply put the head on the ground and it becomes the fulcrum.
I point it out on the pulley system diagram. This part is the head. This part is an orcish head.
I still do not understand this crab.
I look at the party though and I'm like, well, which is it? Are we going to find the orcish camps and free the slaves? Or are we going back to the city which will likely rain arrows down upon us from their walls before we get close enough to show orc heads?
Pack the heads in ice. If we run into the reinforcements, we will show them that we are no friends to these orcs. Bring the cloaks as well.
If we wish to free slaves, then a city of 30,000 would certainly help.
The city has done nothing thus far. They fear the orcs. They couldn't even protect their own villages. How are they going to come out even further and range far enough to free the slaves in the orcish camps?
Perhaps we can incite them with the sight of these heads.
Or bounties. I
We're
would
not
not
going
mind
to-
some gold for these heads.
I grunt disapprovingly and fall silent.
I pack this well, actually I don't have the head. Peachy does. Never mind. I wait until they decide what they're gonna do.
I start packing the heads in ice. Like I just,
Yeah, I toss the cleric's head.
Alright, you pack the ice. You
yeah,
pack
I
the
have
heads
a
in
net,
ice.
so I'm just gonna sort of.
Very similar in the previous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Alright,
smaller. It's not fucking big face.
this is true.
What was it? Big giant face? Doctor Who? I can't remember.
Anyway, you pack the faces. Yeah, you have a net full of snow and orc heads. So you guys want to make your way towards the direction of the city.
No, I mean, I sort of say,
I think we should move onward to try and free slaves. I merely meant we should keep the heads in case we run into trouble from the city.
All right, works perfectly for me.
All right, let's try and work out where the thunder, the well, it's not thunder, is it? The storm is coming from.
I just sort of shake my head and I say,
Grumsh is angry. The sound you heard was his rage.
I look up to the sky. I just
Grumsh.
say, Grumsh is scared.
Grumsh can suck a halfling's cock.
Grumsh can suck a Goliath's cock. I grab it and brandish it. I don't like the gods. I don't like the gods, and
Do
I
you want
definitely
an
don't.
orc head?
I don't like the nice gods, let alone the fucking bastard ones like Grumsh.
Brandish my cock at the gods.
Fuck
That
yeah.
just happened.
I'm a Goliath in a fucking Nordic setting. I brandish my cock at the fucking storm sky Grumsh fucking bastard. Damn right. I don't look happy about it, and I replace my giant's cock.
You know what? You know
Look
what,
away.
Brad? Take inspiration.
Thank you.
I raise my eyebrows slightly at your
Should we have him
comment.
roll for girth?
So much.
Should there be a girth roll?
No, I'm a Goliath.
So he gets like a +2 or something, but
Proficiency.
He's proficient in
Girth proficiency.
well, let's move on. What is the move here?
I say we continue south.
Can we see where these came from? Are there any tracks from where they were meeting?
Right now, the overall consensus, I believe, is that this was the group that was around this place. Like a small scouting party.
Around what
Which
place?
means that there might be more, there might not be more. Like, it's
Yeah,
difficult
can
to
you see
estimate.
tracks where they were scouting from? They went scouting from somewhere, right?
Yeah, from the camp, presumably.
Oh,
Those are
right.
those are the path. Like, that's the.
It was just those. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. You don't know if there's more. Like, you look around and there's just endless supplies of snow, forest, and rock protrusions.
That's ridiculously girthy.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I have no idea what to do anymore.
It's amazing I keep it under my loincloth at all.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start walking. I'm just gonna start walking south.
Yeah, I'm just
Right.
following these all
But-
the time.
But I would like to point out that Karada definitely. I definitely give it like a good look, and I'm
Yeah, like, you do know that the further south you go, indeed, the closer you get to the place you were initially trying to avoid. The further you go, like, the more resistance you would expect. So you guys continue moving south. Alright. Take a quick look. Alright, you guys keep moving south. And you just keep moving until you're exhausted, or...
I mean-
we're looking for more.
yeah. I mean, we're looking for
Right,
more
so-
orc camps.
Alright. Well, it's about noon right now, and you guys start moving south after having traveled for a little bit. You guys travel for another hour. Everybody make perception checks for me.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, minus
19,
one
19,
whack.
14, 23. Everybody besides Velian, because Velian is
rolled a
too
crit.
busy. Yeah. You did. Well done. Everybody besides Velian, does notice that there is definitely more activity of tracks here. Like, what you, executed previously must have been a scouting party. You're starting to get the feeling that they were indeed a scouting party for something bigger. Considering the information you have, it might be a raiding party, which is going to be significantly larger than a scouting party, and you guys are heading possibly right towards it. Massive tracks, both animal as well as humanoid, have been here.
Just to be clear, a raiding party being just like a war band and not necessarily like a camp or a moving troop of people where there would be like caged slaves or anything.
You don't know what they have with them.
But I mean, what is your definition of a raiding party?
A party that raids.
In relative size, is it an army?
I mean,
is
yeah,
it 20 dudes?
Make a survival check.
Me?
If you want to gauge how many folk there are.
I just want to know whether a raiding party is a war band or whether it's the group of a group of orcs that live together and move together. In
Well, they're
terms of
definitely
the-
moving together.
Okay.
But it's if you're wondering if this is like a main camp or an actual fort or something, no.
No, I mean, yeah.
Velian, as you inspect the
got this.
Velian, as you inspect the tracks, yeah, you definitely notice significant larger numbers similar brute impressions, giving the impression that there is at least double-digit orcs. But you also notice several large animal paws. Large animal paws. But more disconcerting is you do notice that there is there's one pair of very deep prints of what appears to be footprints, not boot prints, footprints that go way deeper into the earth than any of the orcs' prints do.
Bigger than mine?
Bigger than yours.
Any chain or track marks? Or anything like that?
They definitely seem to be carrying supplies with them.
I'm looking for manacled feet.
Manacled feet. Would you be able to tell that?
I'd be able to see a chain dragged if it was. I mean,
Yeah, what it would be 2 feet, and then you'd see like a scraping.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that
All really small footsteps because
they might not be manacled around the feet.
No.
They could be manacled in the hands. But
you
I'm just
do
curious.
notice you do notice cart tracks, but you don't notice anything that you would consider to be manacled tracks. It's also very difficult to make such specific things out, considering there's a lot of snow and a lot of mud that's covered.
And in terms of where we are relative to where they are, what
They're
are we looking
nearby.
at? Nearby enough for me to have to be completely quiet, or I can talk to the others.
Well, you can talk. You don't see them. They're not within like eye shot or earshot, presumably.
Okay.
You would notice a large band like that if they were near. But yeah, like the tracks go kind of around. They were here recently.
I'm gonna speak to Kurata then and say, the slaves, were they taken out? Were they manacled? Were they kept in cages, in carts, or anything like that? Would we be able to tell whether this raiding party has slaves or not?
Slaves would sometimes be brought on raids. They would put them in front, like fodder.
Is there a way for us to discern friend from foe?
They would usually give the slaves poor weapons, and more often than not, they would be wearing rags.
I can't imagine that we can take a force of this size head on. I'm not too sure how to go about freeing any slaves in this raiding party. Perhaps we could approach by night or whenever they make camp and attempt to sneak in, free some of the others. Natea is very light on her feet. Perhaps she can scout close enough to discern whether they even have slaves. I fear if we tread too close to them, they will simply kill or enslave us.
Airsick Mountain Man, you make a good point for once.
I defer now to everyone else, because I'm just reporting what I saw on tracks, but generally, you guys are probably better at dealing with the actual thing.
Natea, are you up for this?
You need me to take a look?
I think it best.
Alright. And I do as I do best, and those guys point me in the direction where these tracks are headed, because I didn't bother really to look.
I would have pointed out everything that Ace said, basically.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, you start moving in the direction.
And you come face to face with the giant.
However, you don't, you move quite a bit ahead, stealthily as you do, but you don't notice anything specific. There's no camps, there's no visual signs of large raiding parties.
Okay.
Seems
I head back
familiar.
towards the others, and I say like I can't see anything specific.
Then let us quietly track together.
Alright, and with that we'll take, maybe our last break for tonight?
Ever.
Ever. So we'll be right back in a couple of minutes make sure to stick around. In the meantime, during the break, make sure to follow these beautiful people while they're still alive. I'll be right back. See you guys in a couple of minutes. right, we have returned. Our final break. Thank you for sticking around. Alright, you guys, before the break, decided to continue forward and try to track this large raiding party, correct? Alright. It's not that difficult. The tracks are rather obvious, being such a large party and having carts with them and animals. But it's disconcerting. It's a large raiding party. We're talking double-digit amount of beings, not alone possible slaves. You don't know. You guys follow the tracks. They actually go towards the west side. The primary tracks that you would think would lead forward. As you guys move forward through the forest, it takes about an hour. And when I want you to make a perception check, all of you.
Okie doke.
Boom.
Alright.
God damn.
Velian and Janathist. As you guys near the edge of the mountains in the distance, and you find yourself at a advantageous position. You have the high ground. You do see in the distance black smoke of a campfire, like that smoke of a campfire. You see movement, makeshift barricades, makeshift tents, as well as a large silhouette of a creature difficult to make out that kind of just sits there, not doing much of anything, as well as multiple humanoid shapes dressed in furs moving about, chopping down wood and just preparing for something.
I mean, I pointed out to the group and say, do we send Natea in now or wait for nightfall?
So I say, as much as it pains me to say it, there are far too many in number. Even Natea would be spotted.
Too many eyes. One will catch me. He's right. Or she's right. Sorry.
They look quite busy though. But yeah, it is a lot of eyes.
But we know that Natea's eyes are fucking epic compared to ours, and that she can hide in light fucking snowfall or whatever. So I just figured she could get closer than we are now.
I could get a little. I could get a little closer if we need to look at something, but I can't.
It's still like a couple of 100 feet away, if not further. You guys are on on some kind of high ground cliff. It kind
If
of
you got
overlooks
the high ground, do you think you could find out how many people are in there?
Depending how far away I was, I might be able to count them, but they move around a lot.
If
We
we
just
can
need to
get numbers,
discern whether there are slaves.
if we can determine their numbers, we can also bring back this information.
Very well.
Do they have siege weapons? Can we tell? Can I tell on a crit?
They don't seem to be carrying catapults or ballistas or anything.
Alright, so they're probably not going to the sea. In fact, they're probably not going to the city without siege weapons if the city supposedly has walls. Unless that is what the giant is for, but one giant?
No.
You haven't seen the city, you don't know how well it is defended.
True, but they said it was walled.
All right.
As are houses.
Okay. All right. So, you all wait here. I'll take a closer look. Don't make too much noise.
Be careful, Natea.
I'm
If
always.
they see you, they will be more vicious than you have probably ever experienced.
I've dealt with orcs before. And then I sort of slip away into the trees.
As she's about to slip away, I just touch her on the shoulder and give her guidance.
Okay.
Alright, and with that...
It's a quick sort of nod to you as you like brush my shoulder.
Right.
Stealth check with a d4.
I gave you the cold shoulder.
17.
When I
Alright.
roll a 1 on a d20, I get a 10 on stealth.
Is that a rogue thing?
I have expertise.
Oh, yeah, but 1 is still a critical fail, so that would still suck. Anyway.
You can't critically fail skill checks, can't you?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Can you? Then if you critically succeed a skill check, then can you swim up a waterfall? How does that work?
Yeah, pretty much.
Depending
For
on
like
what...
5
On the
seconds?
salmon.
Yeah, for about 5 seconds. It's like, wow, that's so cool. Oh, there it goes.
I don't think that's how it works. I'm going to look that up just in
You
case.
look it
Sure.
up.
It
in
absolutely
which
is how it works, though.
it is actually how it works. Like, if you roll natural 20s, like, you know, like bordering on divine intervention, but you succeed at what is possible for your being. You can't suddenly breathe in space because you roll a natural 20. But you can fail something that otherwise would, you were
I
somewhat
read a
sufficient
thing
at.
once that was just like a 20 is yes and a 1 is no, regardless of additional.
It
bonus.
depends on the circumstance. I rolled 20. I killed the gods. Anyway.
No, I mean, yeah, but it would be a yes for a hit, is what I'm saying.
Oh
there.
yeah, that's exactly what. Like I said, 20 is pretty much a success on what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
If it is within reason, 1 is pretty much a fail, depending on what you're trying to do. Anyway, regardless, you move forward, so everything's stealth. Takes a little while, you're quite far away, but you make your way up relatively close to the city, hiding behind trees and thick bunches of snow. Make a perception check. I'm assuming you kind of want to gauge what is in this makeshift camp, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna take a perception check. Pew! Taking a look around.
Alright, 21. Yeah, you get a good look. Once again, you seem to have the high ground. You look around, and yeah, the first thing you immediately notice is this large, clumsy-looking shape. Some kind of ogre. Well-geared. Has a large mace and plates of armor bound to it. He just kind of sits there. Not doing much of anything, just waiting orders. There's a lot of orcs running around. Some of them look less intimidating than the ones you just encountered. They look more like grunts. They just seem to be chopping wood and building makeshift barricades. There are definitely a few berserkers in there. You can count about 5-6 berserkers. Not including the ones within the makeshift tents. The grunts, there's about 11 or so grunts that are working on getting this camp up and running. There's also peculiar, most interesting, I suppose. You do see a figure that appears to be some kind of leader. He's wearing a spear. And as you take a good look at him, he only seems to have one eye. His other eye is just cut out, gouged out. He only has one eye, but he's holding a spear, and he seems to be giving out orders. And next to him seems to be some kind of bodyguards, 2 very large, towering orcs in plate, and having plate armor and great axes. It's definitely a force to be reckoned with if you were to try something. But as you try to look further in, you do also notice that there is a large cart, and there is a bunch of people, either dead or unconscious on it, shackled to the cart and to each other. They lay within this in the back of the camp, just in the cart.
Is there any way to discern whether it's corpses or unconscious people?
From this distance, even with 21, it would be too difficult.
I can't hear a groan or a moving chains or...
They seemingly lay still.
Okay.
You don't know if they're dead, unconscious, sleeping. Very difficult to see from this perspective. And of course, also, you do notice next to the carts, there are several cages with large, wolf-like creatures.
Do I see any living people that are not identifiable as unconscious or whatever, who are clearly slaves to these people? Like, anybody who doesn't look like they're a corpse, basically?
No.
Okay.
Any resemblance of humanoids that you would consider friendly, they are either dead, unconscious, or asleep. They do look like they have fresh blood on them.
Okay. I make my way back to the group, emerge from the trees, and quietly relay what I've been told, or not what I've been told, but what I've learned. Except that when talking about the unconscious bodies, I basically say they're corpses. They have a bunch of non-orc bodies, but I didn't see a living soul.
No slaves then.
No.
My hands clench, and I'm like visibly shaking with rage. After I hear what you just said.
I point in the opposite direction to that camp and say, that way then,
No reason not to. There's too many to fight.
because fuck that.
You could probably hear me grinding my teeth, and I say a few words in Orcish. One of them is Huff, and I stare like probably a little too long at the camp and like look back away from it, and I say, "There are too many. We cannot even sneak inside. They will see us for sure."
Sadly. One of them looks relatively important. A man with no eye.
We can, however, take their position. We can take note of this place.
Of course.
They will not stay here forever, but it is a small base for them. We can relay this information, possibly this very valuable information.
They must pay for what they've done.
And I look to Janathus and I nod my head and I say,
They will.
I propose that we follow the tracks that they have left backwards to their camp, which now has no standing army, and hopefully lots of karatas in cages to free and help us return.
I'm shaking my head and I say,
This is not their main camp.
But there are less fighters in their camp now with this lot
You do
here.
not understand. There are many more.
Yeah, by your stand squad, this would be a small raiding party.
yeah.
Why don't they rule this entire fucking island then? How many are there?
You don't know.
There can't be that many.
You don't
Otherwise
know.
there'd be no cities
These
and no villages.
parties are
You don't know.
typically used to raid villages. Take livestock, take women to breed, to use as slaves.
There are no slaves here.
And they came from where? South?
Southwest is where they currently are. That's where they're making this.
And where did the tracks lead from?
Presumably southeast.
So we can just from me sort of trying to figure this out in my head, we're sort of about here? Is that correct? Oh,
No,
God, that's a horrible color for that.
You guys are roughly in this area where it starts getting a lot more rocky.
Ah, okay.
That's where you guys are at right now.
Right there. All right.
Not
We're
near the
there.
actual main mountain.
That city is there. They come from fucking this way. The little shitty town that we were in is there.
No, he said that they came from... well, he said that this place was southwest. So...
Oh, they came from southwest?
Well, the current place that we're at is southwest of the area that we came from.
Yeah, because you guys went
So we
west.
don't know anything. They could be west. I mean, they could be to the west. You know, there could be another bigger place to the west. We don't know that. I mean, I know where I came from, but that's about it.
I don't know where I came from. You lucky bastard.
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Do you know
Speaking
where
of-
I came from? Can I ask yet? Or have you not worked it out which mountain I'm from?
You're probably you see that the ridges in the middle.
Yeah. This lot.
Oh, probably somewhere from there.
For fuck's sake, that's the way I wanted to go. Now I don't want to go that way.
Well, south. Nobody's went south because there's always been death and destruction down there. You know, word has it that even a small village of about 500-600 people has been savaged.
Wait, hang on. So wait. The orcs came from here, or they came from this direction?
The second axe. That's where the tracks presumably lead to.
These orcs, because I was able to work out that they were coming from a direction.
Yeah. The orcs, you have deduced, as far as you know, not with absolute certainty, but they probably moved in this direction. And then set up camp.
That means they're not going to the big city.
No, they set up camp here, and the big city is over here. And you don't know why they have issues with the big city, because you haven't seen it yet. You haven't been there yet, you haven't asked around yet, you don't know what's going on with it.
Well, they can't possibly be... I mean, they've raided all around here.
They're definitely in the process of doing so, yeah, they're moving up. Like, the individual you spoke to did mention that the Storm Screamers seem to have been more active as of late, as if somebody or something has spooked them or has put them into motion. But
yeah,
you didn't really ask
I have a feeling
further.
I know what it is. It's the same motherfucking things that keep showing up and freaking us out.
You don't know. There's a lot of things south.
Crit one.
And I presume something to do with the big black and white gods, or whatever they were. But my character doesn't want to fucking go near any of these things.
The way I see it, we have.
I'm sort of having that same problem. Like I'm trying to think of why
I don't want to go. I don't want to go back where we came from, because then we're trapped. And that little village that we were in is probably either the next target for these orcs, which makes me want to go back there to warn them.
Except that they were assholes and attacked us.
No, the little village.
The smaller one.
Well,
Okay.
you do know that there's about 2 weeks travel away from your, not even, like, even more than 2 weeks away from now.
But these guys have raided all around this mountain. We found this dude really far away from the main city. I don't know how the fuck he's ever going to make it back there without dying himself, but...
like I said, he did mention that the road was well traveled after the village, and the village was only an hour away.
But... Walled city will kill us. Fucking orc homeland area towards the south will kill us. This band of orcs will kill us.
It's almost like the land is dangerous. Oh my god.
It is almost like the land is dangerous.
It's almost which is why okay.
But I feel like
Never mind.
I feel like
Never mind.
So everyone's like stumbling. I just sort of clear my throat. Say, seems like we have 3 options. 1, we go south, forget this ever happened.
south is where the orcs are.
Presumably.
We think.
2, we storm this camp, we'll probably die.
Presumably.
That's not a choice.
3, we go to the city with these heads, get our way in,
And the information of where these orcs are.
come back and hopefully take this position.
4, we go east and avoid all of the death which will certainly come from those options.
Assume I said west when I said.
I'm suggesting a 4th option of east. Literally. Just dead east.
I'm not against trying to get those orc heads to the town, but I'm also very against getting skewered with arrows.
If we went to the town, perhaps we should split up. 2 parties. 1 party not quite so recognizable.
So me and Kurata stay outside the walls. You approach, gain their trust, and then we
Ian
wait
Mateo
outside.
and explain the situation. It might save us a few arrows.
Oh.
My
I'm-
connect.
I'm
Wait,
losing.
or was it just mine?
Yeah,
it
no,
was-
mine
I
too.
was saying-
Oh, yep. Mayday, mayday. Sorry, it might have been. Yeah, since I'm the host, we might have some connectivity issue with Zoom because Zoom is the greatest program since the beginning of sliced bread.
If
Better
you
than
quickly
Skype.
make someone else a host, it helps sometimes.
I feel like
do that.
smoke signals created by compost are better than Skype.
Well, I mean, those are your options, right?
All right, everybody, find some compost. We're doing
It
this
seems
live.
you have 3 options. Smoke signals, Skype or Zoom.
He's deaf.
So I didn't hear the last thing that you said, Peachy.
I said that we could split up. You and I go to the city and try and explain with our bag of orc heads.
I kind of.
We wouldn't initially be shot at instant the second we're seen.
It does involve leaving me and Karata outside alone, though.
It does.
Doesn't have to be. Like, he did mention something. Yeah, the only. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
mean,
know, like a giant mountain man made of death, and Karata's this big green ball of fury.
I think we're disconnected. Check, check. Hello?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, like I'm still fine. I'm not dropping any frames either. It's just a temporary tech
Put
issue,
the
I
host on
suppose.
someone else.
But yeah, but it might.
Issue.
No, I think it's just the Zoom just generally being a bit iffy. It happens. We've had this happen before. Momentary issues. So, continue conversating about tactics.
Okay, so, I mean,
I think going to the city gives us the best chance to come back and free these slaves.
there are no slaves here.
Then avenge them.
There is a chance that this raiding party is heading towards the city. At the very least, Netea or Jonathest can head in, warn them, and then we all leave. Northeast makes no difference if we cannot gain access. We should at least warn them of such a large raiding party, though I believe they expect it. Isn't that what the ranger said?
Yes, he seemed to be readily prepared for orcs. I mean, he attacked us.
did we lose Brad? Oh,
He was not like Brad is always lost.
It might be my girlfriend. I just text her like, "Hey, so watching a little bit of Netflix?"
Well, hopefully we can write this rough patch out. But yeah, so the overall.
So, yeah. I'm just sort of I just mechanically like I missed that part. Like, did Netea actually see the slaves or no? Like, or did
No,
Um,
I saw unconscious or dead bodies on the back of a cart, but my character, Netea, assumed that they were dead because there was blood on them. And there's no reason for me to be like, let's put our lives in danger for the unconscious bodies in the back of a cart, even if they were alive.
Okay. Yeah, I just sort of I say,
Well, my vote is for the city. I think our best bet to deal with these. I hate to call them my old clan, but they are that. Our best bet to deal with them in general is to go back to the city and earn their trust. Perhaps bounties are available.
You're right. Fine. Let's go to the city.
Alright. And with that, you guys start traveling the path you previously walked. Brad, give me a flat d20. 4 or lower is bad, 1 is worse. Alright.
16, yo.
And as you guys are able to find the path back that you previously followed towards the city. Oh my god, I am getting all kinds of like connective stable errors. Hold on. Looks like it's not gonna clear up. Oh, great. Regardless, you guys move over the packed mud towards the village that after a couple of hours travel you do finally see. The same village where you previously were ambushed. You don't see any people. It still looks abandoned as you guys expertly avoid the pitfalls that Natea previously found and pointed out. You guys move through the city. It is absolutely abandoned. Nothing here.
To be clear, the large city?
No, the village. Sorry, the village that was here. It's a small farming village. That presumably was also like kind of like a resting place for all the lumber camps nearby that you have seen.
Oh, so it's the place that we went to before. Because
Yeah.
Because I didn't mean that. I meant we were heading towards the big city.
Well, you guys don't know the road to the big city. The only road that you guys know of is like he said, follow the path. That's the only instruction you guys know. Because the path does lead around the mountain. And with a couple of hours of travel, and you do start noticing that there's definitely a lot more folk. The further you go in or get closer to the city, you definitely notice a lot more people. You see a lot more cities. These are not abandoned. There's definitely still people working. Though you also see a lot of people packing stuff and just moving towards the city. They're in between work and in between, let's get the safety. They're definitely expecting something. A lot of folk that you are seeing, they don't really seem to be bothered by your presence. Not at all. They just move forward. As you guys do as well. And after another hour of travel, you can now see in the distance, as you guys make around the mountain, in the far distance, a big way up the mountain, you can see an extremely large city wall. Excessively large. This is probably the largest thing that you may have ever seen in your life or that you will ever see in your life.
Is it white? Is there
No,
like
it's actually a very dark color. It is not Ministerif, no, it's a very dark color.
Oh, Ministry.
You don't see from this distance the exact details because it goes up as well. You have to walk up the mountain quite a bit to actually reach the city. And as you get closer, you notice that the city has multiple layers to it. You see multiple walls. It looks extremely defensible. The fact that you can't actually get into or towards the city from the sides because the mountain is there, and of course the back as well because it's built against the mountain, makes it only that, especially for large groups, you could only approach this city from the front. And as you get closer to it, you can now see massive amounts of guards on the outer wall, having all kinds of ballistas incrementally bolted onto the wall. And they're still building more towards it. They're definitely expecting a siege or an attack of sorts. You guys start walking up this mountain. It's the immediate area around the city is just carved and flattened out stone. There's no way to like put down a barricade. There's no way you could easily siege this city because of that. It's just bare rock with one central large path that leads through the mountain towards the city. You guys move. It takes quite a while just to get there, but in due time you do make it. And you can now see the building blocks, these black, dark gray blocks. The wall itself is at least 40 to 50 feet high. And you don't know how thick, but it looks sturdy as hell. You can see old scarring on this outer wall. Almost like proud siege scars that they have endured. You do notice that people are moving freely through the city gate.
There's no fucking way I am approaching this city as a Goliath.
Okay, so I see Valiant sort of stumble. I look over to Karata as well.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like,
Have you two ever been to a large human city before?
I very much doubt I would even have got as close as you described. As soon as I can tell that this place is perfectly safe without our additional knowledge.
I've probably been to quite a few large cities.
I mean,
Stuff, so...
yeah.
My initial reasoning for coming here, I had two reasons to come here. One, warn them of a potential siege. Two, you guys said go here. Other than that, I had no reason to come here because the dude said they openly killed Goliaths and half-orcs on site. And if it's even more frighteningly and competently militant, I am nowhere near it. My massive Goliath form is hiding behind a bush and just sidestepping every single possible person that could ever see us.
Well, the thing is, there is no bush to hide behind. If you have started walking
No, that's what I mean. I'm not even that close.
All right, yeah, you are way back.
Describing it as a thing before, as soon as we first see
so
it,
we can see it a long way off, right?
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I mean. Yeah, I'm not close enough to be in the plains area in front of it. I don't think. No way.
Yeah, like the construction. Yeah, the construction itself looks like they carved massive parts off the mountain just to make way for the city's for the city itself, and of course making it so that if you try to attack the city, there's no way you're going to have an advantage. You have to climb up, and there's nowhere to hide.
I would request speaking to the others before we continue too far, sort of thing. Like I would have stopped them.
I mean, if you stop and like hide, I'm gonna stop and talk to you. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if we're close enough, as I says, to be near the gates and stuff, then I will be hiding. If we're not, if I can,
I think we would stop it when we start to sort of see it coming upon us, right?
I mean, if
this is where me and Kurata need to stay if you guys are going in, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been baffled by the size of this place because the only cities that I've ever seen personally are basically small villages that the tribe has raided, and the actual, the tribe itself.
The same goes for me.
This is holy shit.
It would be intimidating as shit.
Similarly to you two, I've spent most of my time in the woods or in small towns. I camp outside of little villages because I don't like it. This is more than looking at it as more than I can handle, definitely.
Yeah, this, Peachy, you probably have heard of this place. Not necessarily by name, but by just rumors. Give me a history check. You are a religious man.
Give me a check on something you're terrible at. You're a religious man.
Hey, it's not my fault.
This helps me not. Okay. You're religious.
Yeah, you don't exactly know the details of the city. You barely remember the name, but you do remember that this is perceived by many of those that you have encountered in the cities that you have been to, and even perhaps you have had word of this as well, Natea, to a lesser extent, that this is considered the primary capital of this continent.
This is as frightening to me. This is almost as frightening to me as the Orc home camp that we haven't seen, but in my head, what I imagine it to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kurata, as you kind of witness it, and you just are in awe of the sheer size, you understand now why the Storm Screamers have been unable to siege this city. You understand. You get it.
I look like I am some rural country bumpkin that has just seen her first skyscraper. I'm just like,
this is impossible. There is no way they could be able to siege this place.
Then they don't need our help.
True, they do not need our help, though it would be useful if you could get some supplies. Wait, it's been about a month, right? Do we need to fucking check off rations and shit?
Oh, yeah. You guys have been hunting as well, right?
Oh,
that's...
I've died of starvation in that case.
No,
I mean,
you
I
guys
have 24 rations.
The thing is, you guys have been hunting.
I go to the city, convince them that Karata and Velian are fine, and we all walk in the front gate.
Or you go in, go shopping, come back out. Me and Karata can just hang out, compare scars.
I mean, I may not have been to a city this big, but I've been to large cities. I could probably just go in there, get stuff, and come out. But we want to show them orc heads and
why?
Yeah,
convince them.
I don't know. I'm sort of a little bit confused as to why would you do that.
Oh, jeez, stupid Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did you want to do, Peachy? Sorry.
Basically, I thought this was going to be more of an Amarok situation, in that they had sort of shaky walls at best, and that these orcs actually stood a chance, and they don't. So we don't need to warn them. We don't really. Me and Kurata don't need to go in there for anything.
My character wants to convince because they're like inactive. They're just hiding behind the walls. My character wants to convince them to go out and get rid of these evil bastards.
Yeah, and you should do that.
By the way, Peachy, make me a religion check.
You are able. You and Elf are able to hide behind your privilege and head on in there.
I give myself go.
Me and Karata can't.
It's not often I can say that.
I've never been able to say that.
14. Yeah, like
it's taught me a lot today. I've learned a devastating lesson as a spice comeback.
Right. Like, well, the thing is, you did like. By the way, Valiant, you do know that there are Goliaths in the city. You did mention that, but they know them.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. This place scares the shit out of me.
All right.
On most levels, and also the last time we encountered people from this city, or at least from this city's kingdom to a degree, they fucking fucked me and Karata up, no matter how much we were like, yo, we're cool.
Yeah, because that was not a
They were
completely...
like, we don't give a fuck. You're a Goliath, you're an orc, you're gonna die, and that is all my character knows. And then the only reason I was coming here was to warn them, because I don't want them to just die to orcs. But
Also, we do need to go shopping, right?
Yeah.
and we need to go shopping, but not that badly. Like, I've lived off of
Yeah,
the
but this
land.
is the best place that we could go shopping. You know that this would be the center of trade. For miles
True,
and miles
but
around.
for 30 odd years, I guess, for my whole life, I have lived off of the land without entering a city like this. It's not a thing that my brain... Me as Brad, being brought up in London, is like fuck going out into the wilderness. Me as Brad being brought up in the wilderness would be like fuck going into London, and that's how I'm trying to imagine it at the moment.
I just had this like mental picture of Janathus having like a pretty woman moment.
Yeah,
It's like
and I
run-
want him to have
Just
that.
like-
I
just like
literally...
running- Just like running through the streets, like
Yeah, shopping bags, convincing people to go and save the slave. Like Pretty Woman meets Moses. is what I want. I want a Janathus one shot where that happens.
Yee Gucci.
That would be the
Regardless,
easiest way to-
Janathest, you don't know the details, but you also know that this is a strongly religious city.
I don't know what.
You can't quite tell, but you do feel a connection with it.
I sense these people are good. Maybe just scared of the orcs. I'm sure if we can convince them, you guys will be allowed to... Guys, you're not both guys. You two will be allowed to move freely throughout the city.
That is fine. But at this point, I have no reason
on, you
to
big
go in
scaredy cat.
first. I mean, I'm not going in first. You need to,
No,
regardless.
okay, so...
You and Elf need to go in.
Okay, as a player, I don't want to split up the party, but as a character, I think that's the best idea.
It's the only idea. There's no way my character's going in. I will
Perhaps
tie
you
myself to a
should set up
tree
camp.
with magical
Hidden.
rope.
Perhaps you two should set up a hidden camp. Me and
We
the
will
tail
stay here.
go on ahead. Okay, we'll do that.
I sit down.
Just sit down.
Perhaps, Velian, perhaps sitting on the road of a major thoroughfare to a large city is a bad idea.
I'm not on the road. I don't know where we are. As soon as I see the road or the walls or whatever, that's where I stopped us.
Well, we've been following the road, right?
Yeah.
The trail.
Like,
Oh,
So
well,
I
like,
point up like into the mountains, and I see, places they could go and like hide out and camp, right?
We can set up a small little camp. We'll
Yeah, I mean, what do we see in the surrounding area? Like, where are we on the map right now? Like,
you guys are in this
if
little.
we've stopped before, basically like when we can see how massive this city is and how their layout is, like where we can get a view where it's like, okay, like if we start walking from here, like there's zero cover.
There's not a lot
Like,
of
would
cover
you
now.
say-
No, what like the cover really ends the moment you reach the mountain itself. There's still like trees and shrubbery and that before that, but once the mountain hits and it becomes a steep slope, that entire
Okay.
place is just bare, smoothed out with time, and there's one central large path that leads up the mountain that then ultimately leads to the city.
Okay, so I'm going to look around like where the trees, any nearby trees are, and I'm going to see if I can find like a big. Well, I guess I don't really need that. Do we? I have like I have a blanket. I'm going to, I guess, sort of rub some dye on it from my disguise kit. Just some like powder or whatever it is that's in the disguise kit to help make myself up. Just sort of like a red color. And I'm going to give this to Janathus. So it's like a blanket that's basically red. I'm going to give it to Janathus, and I say,
If we are clear to come to the city, lead us around. We will be watching.
All right.
All right.
I nod and take the matador bull from her.
All right. You
and
get the red-
I also give you the heads and the cloaks that we collected from these guys. They're sort of wrapped up like in a net. It's like a gladiator net.
I will do nothing. I'll just I'll take them off you. I touch you on the shoulder. I give you guidance, and I just say, find a good place to hide.
Very well.
I steel myself for the idea that I'm coming with you. Basically, Janathus.
So I kind of look at it, and you're dressed like this thing that can hide in nothing, right?
Yeah,
We're talking like ponytail, hood, like leather armor strapped to the nines.
pretty much. But I mean, her cloak is like the raggediest thing ever. It's like this green sort of cloak that all the hems are torn and like ripped, and there's patches all over it, like all over the shoulders and all down of like browns and reds that are just like repairing holes.
Mateo,
Yeah.
have you been in a city quite this large?
No.
Perhaps the camouflage needed here is a little different than what you're used to. And I sort of, I like fold up her cape and like sort of sash it around so it looks like a scarf or something rather than a
Actually-
assassin's cape.
Hang on. You're touching the cloak?
Am I? Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you try and like touch that or like move it or anything, and I back right up. I go,
When I see you move quite so fast, I also back up and check for the daggers.
yeah, there is a knife. Like you can see the tiny.
Looking down the snow.
You can see the tiny glint of it underneath the cloak, but it goes away very quickly. And I say, I think I'll be fine.
Ace, being someone who has been around, for want of a better word, civilized people, would people stare? Wouldn't they stand out in a city?
You're pretty well dressed, right?
Yeah, I'm a cleric. I've got
Yeah, they would stare at you.
furs and stuff. Oh, they would stare at me.
Yeah, you're the
Right.
sore thumb.
Oh, cool. I'm okay with that. Okay, can we wreck on that? Because I would know that, right?
That's
Like,
okay.
besides the fact that
I mean, I
Natea
have
is
vestments on, not fine clothes.
well, like
But I also am wearing a giant bear. Now I come to think of it.
everybody does. Let me put it this way: the citizens of Oderheim are they like as you kind of look at and observe the people for a moment while this conversation is gone. Like the citizens of Oderheim are in general stern and rugged. Most of them wear thick leathers, furs, and tend to be somewhat scruffy, as a direct result of the vicious environment.
Do I
You guys-
see any holy people out here?
You do notice that people wear symbols, but they don't look particularly like clericy spellcaster types. They do wear certain symbols of gods that you are familiar with. You have heard of them. So yeah, like they definitely look rough around the edges. You know, just general stern and rugged people.
Okay, so I look at you, Natea, and I'm like, you'll fit in just fine. And I make sure that my vestments proper thing of my getup. You know, usually there's just furs everywhere. I want to make sure people know that I am a holy man.
Yeah, as long as you wear your symbol on front, like, you know, people will recognize it.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then we'll walk towards the city.
Alright, you start walking up, you guys are still at the edge of the forest where, like, the forest is quite thick because you specifically wanted to hide a little bit. But you start making your way through the clearing where the forest gets thin and start walking your way up towards the mountain that it ultimately leads up towards the city with a steep slope. And with that, we'll end today's session because, dear God, Zoom, get your shit together. Do apologize for the last minute technical difficulties. I like to blame everybody besides myself. But
Did you try changing the host days?
I can definitely try right now. It might just be that the European relay is messed up. It happens.
I feel like when everyone starts
doesn't
jabbing
matter.
out, it's usually Zoom.
Yeah.
Because you normally find one person goes, and drops when it's their
Yeah.
issue.
Anyway,
probably have
we're at the end of the
some
we're at the end of the session anyway. So, let's do some quick shout outs while I calculate experience, and we'll start with, of course, the ever so scared Goliath Valiant.
Damn right, I'm fucking scared.
I'm a Goliath. I'm a man. I can take death as a bitch. And nope, I'm scared.
Simba.
You've made every single person in this world a Goliath racist, so damn right I'm fucking scared of going near the biggest amount of Goliath racists I've ever seen behind the biggest, scariest walls
Hey,
with an
you want to
army.
play an exotic race, not me?
Anyway, I am Brad Woe, and you can check out my shit that I own, not my actual shit. You could probably, if you crept into my house, found my bathroom and waited. But
PewDiePie's next video.
you can just see me in PewDiePie's next video. Or watch me DM some things on my channel, Brad Woto, and I also DM a show called Fractured Worlds on another channel, which belongs to John Sandman. Basically, follow me on things like Twitter and Twitch, and I'm sure you'll see some other things that I do. Thanks for watching, everyone, and fuck you, Zoom.
Everyone should watch that wolves thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, or listen to it. There's not much to watch. On a Wednesday, I do an RP-based, audio-based game called The Walls of Water, and people are enjoying the weird style of just no visual shit as a focal, which I was petrified about at first.
You have an actual real-life bard playing a bard.
Yeah, there's also an actual real life bard that sometimes actually plays real life music, and it's awesome.
Wait, who's the actual bard?
Pony_punch on Twitch, and he does like RP arc stuff, but he also does music streams and things. And he just pulls out a guitar. And in our first session, he went up on stage as the bard. He went up on the stage in the tavern and just did a song. And I was like, okay. And he just actually did it.
To be fair,
it was cool.
I was expecting like Nate, what's his name? Nate Goes to Battle or whatever the fuck his YouTube name is, to be like all fucking doing music and shit on Dice Camera Action, and there was none of that.
Rubbish. I didn't make Pony do it. He just was like, oh, I can make up little songs and stuff for the bard, and he just pulls out these awesome little songs. It's really cool because I couldn't do that when I was kiting. I was just like, I play a song. And that's all that happens. I couldn't actually do the music.
Just drop a rhyme, you know. Drop a rhyme, drop a limerick.
Become a yeah, he was Irish, wasn't he? So yeah.
You want me to give you a beat, Brad?
This is
Please
gonna
no.
be the most terrible white thing ever. I hope Zoom fails now.
There's no way I would do it.
Oh my goodness. Alright, let's move on. And of course Natea.
Hi everyone. I play Natea here on Northern Winds. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/distractedelf. I do RPG stuff on Mondays here and Thursdays on Roll20 Apps channel with Adam Noble as the GM and Blue Jay and a couple of other people. Players who are awesome and super cool. And what else do I do that's important? I'm a LARPer. I do lots of LARPy things on the weekends, and there's pictures of costumes and stuff. I like doing that. And I stream whenever I can games and stuff on my channel. Come check it out. Yay.
There you go. And of course, Kurata.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Wax Steven, and hopefully Zoom doesn't take another shit while I'm doing my speech. You guys can find me at Wax Steven on Twitter, Twitch TV/Wax Steven, where I do lots more roleplay stuff. On Sundays, I run Blood and Mist, which is a Ravenloft setting campaign with D&D 5th edition, also with Mr. Peachy Pixelate and Wolf Scorar in that. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight, despite the Zoom problems. I'll keep it short, so that's it. Thank you.
All right, and last and possibly least, Janae Thest.
Hey guys, I'm Peachy Pixelate. Like Wax said, I do a lot of RP. I play random video games. I'm going to try and start doing more music creation streams as well. So if you follow me, I will touch your butt.
There you go. There you go. You're beautiful. In every single way.
Speaking of beautiful, Ace. Inspiration.
No. Alright. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, as Wax said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I'm sorry for the Zoom issues at the end, but hopefully you still enjoyed it. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, make sure you follow these beautiful people. The links are in the chat. Follow me if you like variety casting shenanigans, and of course future D&D shows. You know, I'm not saying you should follow, but if you don't, you know, you won't ever find the love of your life. We'll be back next week. The episode will of course be up on YouTube, and we will see you then to see what happens in this large city of Oderheim. Have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Right.